Oh dear, I think I know what this is. You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything they say just starts...
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
I joined the Empire about 6 years ago. I can remember as a kid, you know, watching the holographic images and being excited about the new direction that the galaxy was taking. So when I was old enough, I went down to the local recruitment center, you know, and signed up. And I've been here at Tatooine ever since. Most people would call this the ass end of space, but I like the small town feeling you get around here. I mean, we know everybody. Everybody.
Not straight. Stay tuned.
When you get, instead of just like trying to slap something out like the Star Wars experience and crap, but when you have, when you, I'm sorry, it's true though. It's like
I just got back from. Oh, I just died.
I just watched that. It was hilarious.
How do I get back up?
Own your truth. You know, it was difficult. It was at first. I mean, you just cornered me like that and everything, but you know, it's a little liberating now to know I can like Star Wars in more ways than I ever imagined. Dave Filoni is the savior of Star Wars. KK is doing an amazing job. The people out there are just blind and can't see it. So yes, thank you. I can stop lying now.
What? What the fuck?
Are you sure?
I don't know what I was doing, but from that angle, I just jumped.
You just walked right off the cliff. It was hilarious.
I don't know what I was doing, but I was like, that's funny. I was just like, do, and I was like over here, and I was like, woo. Oh, see, you thought I was going to do it.
And he did it. All right.
Oh,
I missed it.
I was fully, I didn't know how to do it. I was just messing around.
Yeah, you.
W.
Oh, that was gold. That was...
Go home, gamer girl.
Okay, hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith. We're back, baby. We're back. Hopefully you all can hear me now. I've got it set up appropriately, I think. But yeah, I am your host, the Fractured Filter, and with me here tonight is, as always, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
We are back. We are back. 126. We are back after what seems like 6-month hiatus.
Feels like it, right? You step out of the sphere for just a little bit, and yeah, time flies. But I was, trying to keep things active. Hopefully everybody can hear us now. Hello, chat. How you doing? We did have some of the first, I can't display it, sorry, but we did have Nerdy Neo saying can't wait, and Star Wars Marvel Pure saying force choke that like button. And now starting off, yes, then we had Captain Keeley in the chat saying Fractured Filter is the only thing that brings me joy in life, and saying number 2 gamer in the world. Yes, indeedy. I gotta probably move those. No, that's in a fine position. We're trying something out here, folks. I hope it's working. We got United Spacers Alliance. Tim, how are you doing? Saying howdy, Spacers. Howdy to you. And Static saying yo. Meteor Aglet. Let me go. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully everyone's hearing things now. Timon saying heyo everybody. Maybe I should have my brother check the stream. But and then saying hey Fractured, hello sir. Darth Pause, hello, how are you doing? Saying Dave is going to save us, Lord have mercy. We all know that's not true. Come on now. Even being sarcastic. Come on. But now we Darth Pause, I saw how you've been harassing our boy Scran about KOTOR. Well, now you're not the only one, because I got a bone to pick with that boy. He's got to play some of the Dark Forces series. He's out of the loop. He's completely out of the loop. Everybody greeting each other, very awesome. Hopefully I'm not muted anymore. Fear of FEMA, how's it going? Saying afternoon all. And Static did call me a boomer. Yes, this is true. Hey, Nerdy Neo saying, let's freaking go. Captain Keeley saying, muted retard, just filter, not Hitman. We like him. Well, they like you. We hear. All right. The hearing is happening. All right, let's go. And Darth Scran made me bounce. All right, that's the chat all caught up. So, Hitman, how have you been, man? We've ended 2024. We're into now 2025. We've been active at this effectively for 3 years. But overall,
like yesterday, man, when we were starting Book of Boba.
Oh my God! Right,
one of the greatest shows, mind you, that Disney has put out by far.
What? But you actually
what? I can say that after watching every single Star Wars project, minus, well, almost all. Yeah. So everybody that's listening, I put out a poll 2 days ago.
He did.
To just something fun as a kind of a homecoming event that we could do, and it was to watch Skeleton Crew.
And here I thought we weren't going to acknowledge
all of you bastards with love decided to want us to watch it, and so I sat here this morning and watched it, and somebody who may be also on this show did not watch it.
Maybe. But okay, let's start. I've been hearing, Hitman, though, that it's an okay show.
No. Who's telling you it's okay? Brad
is one of them.
I'll DM Brad personally. No, this is the most it was the most butt bleeding experience out of all the shows that we've watched. They have all, in some type of capacity, been tolerable to a point. Up Andor is pretty bad, but I've been able to like get through them, whether it be sleeping through them or whatnot. But this show,
This show. He's collecting himself. He's trying to find the right words. He's gotten completely silent even for me.
Spielberg's.
Oh, there he is.
Who?
You kind
gave
of
off
you kind of stopped for a moment there.
Oh, it gave off just very Steven Spielberg, E.T. Just I don't know. I don't know what I watched. It was nothing like it was nothing Star Wars like these what should be speeder bikes or it just were like more like car and actual. It's like I literally went. You would go down to downtown. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to bring up LA because of what LA is going through, but it'd be like going through like a suburb out in the mountains, and just it was so bad. Absolutely, just a butt bleeding experience. And I will not be watching episode 2. I am standing here today, and I'm tapping. I will not watch these. I will not watch episode 2. It was so bad.
Yeah, no, you got some words for our boy Rhino. Like you were like, what the hell, dude?
No, listen. I love Raging Rhino. I love Rhino to death. I don't know how he's getting through it. He's either eating so much McDonald's before he watches these shows that he just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how he does it. So good on you, right, Raging? Because I could not do it. I was the whole like. Well, so let's talk about okay. So the beginning of the episode, they're getting boarded. The ship's getting boarded, and the guy literally he cocks his gun. He like pulls the slide back on a gun. When have you ever seen in the history of Star Wars? Have you ever seen somebody cock a slide on a blaster rifle, on a blaster pistol?
Never that I could
And these guns
ever
had what
think of.
appeared to be as suppressors.
What?
No,
Okay.
it happened, and it is worse than Andor's. It was worse than Andor's AK-47 guns that were in that show. Oh, absolutely. And then they have this, this Captain Barbosa, where the captain's like open the vault. He's like, oh, we're a bolt freighter. We don't carry money. And they torch through the door, and he kicks the door open. And like you remember in Revenge of the Sith where Anakin, he creates the hole in the elevator, and the heavy metal comes barreling down, and they get out of the way.
Yeah.
You could tell that it was somewhat heavy, right?
Right.
Well, this captain literally essentially does that with the blowtorch and just kicks it with his foot, and it goes, 4 to 5 feet.
Oh God.
That's not realistic. And then they had this like Barbosa mutiny. Like I thought he was going to say parlay, because they're like, we did all good men died for one credit, and then he starts like fighting all the captain starts fighting all of his crew, and then it goes to another cut scene, and and it's like this, and then they're on this like dystopian it's just so bad, this dystopian planet where they basically tell you what you're gonna do for the planet, and and then this girl, I don't understand the concept of like where this concept came from of like Kylo Ren wearing like, why do you wear a mask or a helmet when you don't need it? Like there's this girl who was like who was I forget the guy who was Empire Strikes Back. He was Lando's assistant, but he was a cyborg.
Yeah, Lobot.
Lobot. So this girl has like this like Cyclops visor, but she's like a girl. She like there's
You're
no
right.
like you can't like it looks like a helmet. I'm like,
it made me think like she kind of had that Jeudy LaForge look.
Yes.
Like more to
Cyclops meets Jeudy LaForge.
that.
And just so bad. Just so bad. The and then once again, the creative
They can't make aliens.
Is that
Dare
still
I
the
say the Rhodian? The dare I say the Rhodian and Book of Boba look better than some of these like whatever aliens in the it's just so bad, and it's not Star Wars. It's literally like just
well? That's what
like I get
that is one of the things that I've been hearing is that it's effectively like it could be
these homes have garages.
It
They
could
have
be
like garage doors.
like it could be any other like science fiction show. It has nothing to do with Star Wars whatsoever.
Oh, when did you ever see a house within like George Lucas, like Star Wars, that had what looked like a modernistic house with a garage door?
Never that I can think of.
Never.
That I can think of.
When did you ever see a speeder bike or a, I don't know what you would call it, like a shuttle car that looked like a Cutlass?
Cutlass.
And these cars, mind you, this guy, so Wendell, or yes, yeah, like a Cutlass model, like a car. These look like
Okay.
literal cars. And then the guy, the dad of Wim, pulls into the garage, but he has this little metal piece that's attached to an Amtrak. It's not Star Wars.
What is going
Or
on?
People didn't.
What is going on with this show? What the hell?
What do you? Literally, he pulls into his garage, and there's a metal piece that touches the ground, and you can see within the scene it's an Amtrak. They have to march through the neighborhood.
Wow, just wow.
You've got
yeah. So
I just and these speeder bikes are not even speeder bikes. They're like they're gas powered.
well, yeah, Darth Paz is agreeing with this. Skeleton Crew is pretty bad. Captain Keeley is saying, apparently people want me to make a Force Unleashed vid. Oh, cool. Hello, Big Dog Jake. How's it going? Saying, my hero, Kyle Katarn, has returned. Like the stream, nerds. Yeah. And then Keeley said, one of the pirates in the later episodes has a barely modified Lee Enfield rifle. And when I say barely, I mean barely. So we talking still Ander level, barely modified looking weapons. Darth Paul says theory knows a thing or two about Lobot. Yeah, he does. He thinks there's some intimacy for Vader and the Lobot. Or two. Yes, or two. Keeley saying, yeah, Theory's favorite. The new show is always the favorite.
Is Theory doing this? Is Theory?
Of course he is.
He's such an idiot.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, sir. Meteor Advocate Timon says the one who had ancestors who owned slaves. Wait, what? LeVar Burton, Jeudy. Yeah, that one. That Jeudy. Yeah. And Captain Keeley saying 2 modifications at best.
Like this is just what I want to. This is what I want to do going forward. I want like it. I don't know how you feel. So New Year, like that's great, but stupidity should not theoretically follow to the next year. Like you should be done. Like once 20, like New Year's Eve hits, the stupidity should not be able to pass to the new year. But everything Star Wars and the stupidity just keeps rolling down, and it gets worse and worse. And I don't want to do it anymore. I never thought within 3 years of doing this show that I'd ever come to a point where like I'm just done. Like I'm done. Like this show has
Acolyte. I thought Acolyte did a proper job breaking us, but
I did not think you could get any worse. I sat there and watched Dad Bod Thrawn. No. Well, I didn't watch it, so I can't speak to Acolyte, but I would bet my next paycheck that this show makes Acolyte look. This show would make Acolyte people want to do a season 2.
They're already trying to do a season 2, or at least they have been. I think maybe some of that energy has dropped.
Well, they weren't going to because it got they canceled. But this show, and this is probably their thinking. And listen, people, we have not created a platform on theories like some other person has. But I will say, I think that they created this show knowing that they were going to try to cancel to Acolyte 2 to get people so pissed off at this show that they're just going to do a season 2 of Acolyte. self-sabotaging to
Diabolical.
I don't know.
Diabolical.
I just I want to go back and watch Book of Boba.
Oh my God.
I want to go back and watch Book of Boba.
Dear Lord.
And you should too. You should too.
No.
After
no.
watching,
If I'm gonna watch, if I'm
this.
gonna go back and watch anything Star Wars, it'll be the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, and then the Tartakovsky.
You don't get that option. Nope. You don't get that option. Nope. You don't get that.
So
option.
what? Gun to my head. If I have to go
something-
back and watch any of the Disney
from
Star
Book of
Wars,
Boba, yep. You can't go pre-Book of Boba. You have to pick something that we have literally reviewed. Those are your options. And out of those options, I think I will know you well enough to say you would probably either pick Book of Boba or Mando Season 1.
yeah, it'd probably be Mando Season 1 before Book of Boba. Boba was bad.
I don't know, man. Danny Trejo made this
Danny
show.
Trejo with the sad
Yes.
Rancor that quickly got over it to do a kaiju battle. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I can't. I know, I said we were gonna do it, and I was halfway joking. But it is absolutely so. It is just the trailer did not do it any justice. Like when we watched that trailer, like, oh man, this is bad. Like actually getting in and watching it, like I got to like 6 minutes and I text you, I was like, I'm not doing it, I'm tapping. And then I got to like 22 minutes, I was like, man, like he better be watching this with me. And then I finally got through it and I was like, this, like, I can't.
Now I feel like a jerk. I didn't even watch it. Jeez.
Well, I want to talk. I commend Brad. Brad has to be a special type of person to put himself through this kind of stuff.
That is the word. Yes, a special type of person.
I mean, I just I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know what to watch. I sit here and we talk about this. I'm trying to compare it to something. It literally looks like the neighborhood in E.T. where he's going off and meeting, he's riding on the bike through the neighborhood. This looks like something that would be like in California. Mind you, the same place that they probably shot rock crushing player.
I love that. That's still your go-to.
How you can sit here and create something that, again, I am not as knowledgeable as OG or Tim or anybody else that we've talked about on this show, but I'd like to think I know enough about Star Wars to be able to watch something and say this has nothing to do with Star Wars.
Right.
The fact this kid said, I want to be a Jedi when I grow up, like, I don't know, maybe within the New Republic, like the, but I heard that, I was like, I want to grow up and be a Jedi, like, and that wasn't even the worst of it, but I'm like,
yeah, pretty much, man, pretty much.
But even for a first episode, they didn't. I'm done with it. I'm done.
No, I know I am enjoying hearing about this. I'm enjoying your anger, your rage. I just wanted to get to some of the, because Darth Paz did say Skeleton Crew also ruins a legacy character, Crimson Jack, but nobody talks about that. See, now we got some great and knowledgeable people in the chat. Darth Paz, I'll admit, I don't know Crimson Jack at the moment that I can think of. But it's always funny that like it is garbage, the Trash Panda Filoni, even though they threw out the true canon, they love looting it. They love looting, pillaging, and destroying and repurposing for their own means. So yeah. Not surprising though. Not surprising. Bunch of dickheads. And hello to you, Melissa Lord. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you all for being here. It's a great turnout so far. Please smash the like button if you haven't. Thank you so much. You guys are great, really. Timon says, one of the highlights of 2024. Melissa Lord said Acolyte almost had me break a rib laughing. That Acolyte was a special kind of stupid. Thank God there's gonna be no season 2. It's dead, Jim. But it is rather funny that if I wish I had the list again, or at least bookmarked it. I think it was like Samba TV or whatever, it's some sort of diagram though. But it started with like Mando season 1, and then as it goes further down the list of each Disney Star Wars show released, the ratings just dropped. Just one after another, and it just kept shrinking of viewership, and Acolyte was just the bottom of the freaking barrel, and it was hilarious. Captain Keeley says one little metal bit attached to the other side and a tiny little thing at the end of the barrel. That's it. At least put in some effort. Agreed. They should be putting in some effort. Static saying retard. The word is retard. Thank you. Yes. Static saying, can you give Hitman a slight volume boost? I've actually been trying.
I don't know. Is that on my side or your side?
It might be my side with Discord, and I'll even try and up you again. You're gonna be max freaking volume, brother. I got you max volume in the OBS and in Discord, so hopefully that'll work. Duke Devil, speak of the devil. Speak of. He's saying Rogue One. What about Rogue One? Oh, it's something you'd rather go and watch? No, he was talking about Disney Star Wars shows, not movies. You don't get that choice. Asking, did I mute myself? No. Hopefully I'm still being heard. Ooh. She has no audio. Never. Oh, okay. Phew. There's thing. My stupid PC, work PC was still. Oh, no worries, Melissa. You're good. Duke Devil. Yes. Duke saying Skeleton Crew does not have to be in the Star Wars universe at all.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, Hitman agrees. Darth Paul says the Acolyte was watched by grifters that Gate watched. That was the majority of the Disney Plus views. Yeah, and guilty. We did watch it. But I had Captain Jack Sparrow throw me my copy. Think actually Jude Law playing his character. Liquid Blake himself. Hello, sir. Long time no see. Saying pretty soon the viewer will be just Rhino. He will be the last remaining individual still watching that slop. Hello, and Melissa Lord saying the viewership from Mando season 1 drops off, and the drop off just keeps getting steeper and like I said, I wish I had the diagram still. Each show is less views. Yeah, it just has been tanking one after the other, and it's like I said, it's been hilarious to say the least. So you are unfortunately saying that Skeleton Crew is a no-go, huh?
No-go, absolutely. No.
All right. I won't waste my time then. Thank you for being the guinea pig.
You need to. Because Static said you had to.
You know what? In solidarity, I will watch it. No, just so you are not the only one suffering.
As your friend and brother in this, I don't want you to succumb you to such just bad terror. An atrocity that is Skeleton Crew. Anybody ask Brad what he thinks? I mean,
he just said Duke. Brad here just said Skeleton Crew could just be generic space adventure, and it would work fine. But Star Wars has always been about Jedi, Sith, and Wars, Empire, Rebels. So that you got Brad's take right there. Darth Paul says, I watched it, but didn't use Disney Plus. It's fine to watch it, just not with Disney Plus, right? Darth Paul says, Coach needs to use Disney Plus, but for my kids. That's right. Like, you can't, I mean, you know, you don't need Disney Plus to watch Disney shit. If you really, like, you don't have, I mean, go on eBay, for God's sakes. Find the old VHS. Go classic, man. Go classic if you still want to show kid. How, you know, I swear, some of these people, they just want to, they just want they're trying to find any excuse and any justification for them to keep consuming the slop. And that's all it is to it. All it is to it. They just want that reason to be able to do so.
I don't like slop.
None of us do. Darth Paul says, Coach likes Skeleton Crew because of Baby Dumbo. That's right, the Baby Dumbo. Jesus Christ. Isn't that just the equivalent then of the basically, no offense, Melissa Lord, if you're still in the chat, but it's like most women that fawned over Baby Yoda, for God's sakes.
Yeah. I need a refresher. Did they do a season 3, Amanda, or was it season 2?
We watched season 3.
Oh, okay, it was season 3, and then the movie. I couldn't remember. I got into a conversation with somebody at work last night about whether or not they did one. It was just, yeah, if they did 1 or 2, because I know they did the movie. So it was 3, and then they were doing the movie, which I have no idea.
Pretty much. Okay. Yeah, physical media is the way. Captain Keeley says, Yar har, fiddle dee dee. Being a pirate is all right with me. Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yar! I'm down with that, brother. Duke Devil says, Acolyte was so bad that it made Joshua Jackson divorce his wife, Mother Anicia, because he didn't want to be associated with it. Oof. Oof. God, that series.
That's rough.
It was serious. It was. All right, so we do have some topics to get to. Are you ready to jump into some of this?
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go, folks. Like I said, this is all being one giant test. I hope this works out okay. All right, here. Let's see. What should we go with first? Let's go, I guess, on the topic of Star Wars still. All right, let's try this. Okay. Hopefully I'm not doubling up on any audio and you can all see it. Now let me share it for you, Hitman. All right. So starting the news off, Ahsoka's Baylan Skoll recast as Game of Thrones star Rory McCann replaces Ray Stevenson.
I did see this.
Yeah, you posted another article about it, and I thought I'd grab one from a different source.
A more reputable source.
That one seemed a little weird to me. I was looking at it, I'm like, is this a legit site or something? So yeah. All right, so starting off, the best thing about Star Wars Ahsoka. There was a best thing about Star Wars Ahsoka. By a long mile was the mysterious new Dark Jedi, Baylan Skoll, until he started talking. And then it was called, you know what, please shut up. A complex and intriguing character whose motives and galactic alignment remained shrouded in mystery by the end of season 1. Skoll was played with grim stoicism by Ree Stevenson, who tragically passed away before the show landed on Disney+. He was just 58 years old. And from what I've heard for Ray Stevenson, definitely he, if you want, one of the top tier like Punisher movies. His was apparently just amazing. I have to check it out one of these days. The question on everyone's mind since then is who would replace this wonderful actor who so perfectly brought to life one of the best Star Wars characters of the Disney era? What do you think? Do you think he brought about the best character of the Disney Star Wars era?
I mean, he made the show by far.
But it was more like I said, it until he started talking, it was like he kept good old Savior Filoni in the script. He just started talking nonsense, and he was like, bro, you know what? Go back to being a kind of quiet dude. Let the other people make asses of themselves. Just be the cardboard cutout that you're kind of there to be.
You have to admit, though, he was the best part of the show.
He had a great presence. I won't deny. But like I said,
Dad Bod Thrawn.
Dad Bod, God, that Thrawn was just like they couldn't get his ass on the treadmill for to get at least trimmed up a bit. Come on, man, do some of that Hollywood steroids. All right. Continuing on. My dream casting was Vincent Regan, an actor we recently saw playing Sir Rickard Thorne in House of the Dragon's second season on HBO. I haven't seen House of the Dragon. I can't say I care to. I've heard good things, but apparently it's now okay to retcon lore, race swap, and stuff like that, so long as it's a good story. It's funny how that happens, and they just decide now it's okay. It's like, no, you got it. That's that's the thing that people have a lot of problems with these reviewer YouTubers and shit like that. They have no consistency. They have no principles on this. They'll bend. Also, they get that little scrap of slop thrown their way. Anyway, it's a little bit ironic, I suppose, that Disney and Lucasfilm have snagged another actor known for his time spent in Westeros to fill Stevenson's shoes. Balin Skull will be played by Rory McCann in season 2. The Hollywood Reporter confirmed McCann is best known for his excellent portrayal of Sir Sandor the Hound Clegane in Game of Thrones. McCann certainly has the size and pull of the stoic demeanor for the role, though I suspect it will be rather jarring to have someone who looks so different filling Stevenson's rather large shoes. Like, I don't know. You gray him up and everything, like he could kind of have there will be some things off, yeah. I think I don't know. I think this guy's taller too than Stevenson might have been. Of course, McCann is actually quite a bit tall. Okay, so even they're addressing it. Bit taller than Stevenson. So he'll be an even more intimidating presence in Ahsoka, surrounded by mostly much shorter actors. This is a strong recast and far, far better decision than killing off or simply disappearing Skull. I mean, they kind of set themselves up for it anyways. Like, he kind of bunks off, see some basically Middle Earth tier statues, and is, again, bunking off. Ahsoka was not a wow, even their Forbes here. Ahsoka was not a very good show overall, but I'll happily watch season 2 just to find out what this character is up to. In the end, I was left with a very mixed feelings about the Dave Filoni produced series. Here's hoping the writing improves for the second season. There's no word on when it will begin filming, let alone a release date. Current Star Wars show, Disney Skeleton Crew, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, what do you think, Hitman? Do you think you think they'll do good? Mm-hmm.
No.
I love just the flat no.
No, I don't think so. Like I said, he was the only good part about the show. If they tried to replace him, I don't see it.
What I'm
you can't salvage Ahsoka.
Well, that's just it. Like, you even have Forbes here saying Ahsoka was not a very good show overall. What else? Like, how are you going to improve on season 2? Like, Filoni was the brainchild. This was his brainchild after all. What more will it take for people to realize that this guy's a freaking hack and can't do a thing worth a damn? Other than loot the canon, the original true canon, and that's about it. That's all he's good at, is looting things and weekly repurposing.
They're trying to say something that's already been lost.
Right.
And I just don't see it. Maybe we've talked about this throughout the years. It's like, if they, dare I say, had followed anything within the books, they could have made something really, really good. But
they've done that from the start. Like I've said, they would have printed freaking money. Everyone said it too. If they just followed the canon and everything, adapted books and stuff like that, like it was all there. Everything was laid out for them. It's like, what? Yeah.
So I don't know. I've stopped trying to understand their mentality.
I mean, I'm trying to figure it out myself too. Like, what is it at this point? It's like, what even is their end game for anything? I mean, we only know, like, they're gonna do the Mandalorian movie at some point. There's allegedly a Rey movie in the works. We'll see how that ever, admits to anything, if it does. Yeah, I don't know what to make of any of this. And I mean, honestly, I almost feel like it's like a death march being brought into Star Wars at this point. I don't know why you'd want to. I almost feel like it would possibly kill your career, considering the poor projects that they've done. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know on that one. Let's see what some of the chat's been saying. Oh, god dang it. I didn't have... Let me add featured chat. There we go. Okay. Darth Maul said, Grogu must happen with The Mandalorian and Grogu. Don't watch it. Never plan to. Nerdy Neo says, Plex server is the way to go. You know what, Neo? I'll have to hit you up and find out what that actually means. Duke Devil says, I can see why Skeleton Crew would appeal to kids. And then said, today, thanks to Grizzy, I learned Gap. Grogu attracted person. Yep. Who knew? Well, now you do, Brad. You do now as well. Thanks to Grizzy. He has illuminated all of us to the gaps. Or I thought Tim did too. I forget where that one originated. Captain Keeley says Balin is a nothing character. Like I said, he's cardboard cut out. He served a purpose, but that was about it. Complex my ass. Yeah, I mean, it was just only for the fact that he was so quiet and quote unquote stoic, as the article said. Yeah. Darth Paz says they need to get another actor ready just in case this one dies suddenly as well. Oh no! Oh no! I lost Hitman. Wow, this is embarrassing. I probably should keep that regular one up. Let's go back to the newsroom really quick, shall we? There we go. Even though he's not here right now, he's here in spirit. He is here in spirit. All right, let me kind of fiddle fart around. There we go. There we go. Duke Devil says, off to my annual Getting Older dinner. See you later. Thanks for hanging out, Brad, while you could. Enjoy your annual Getting Older dinner. Oh, then that means happy birthday. Happy birthday, sir. Captain Keeley says he just says things without any purpose or reason, just to feign intelligence. Yeah, Filoni, or are you talking about the character Balin Skull? But I mean, you know, that's what Filoni wrote for him. Darth Paws says it's only okay to race swap when Nerderotic says so. Yeah, and the rest of the fellow sheep people. Then it's okay. Then you can do it. No, don't hold to that. To everything else that they've been bitching about. Brandon Tran, hello. How are you doing today, sir? Saying hello, a bit late to the party. No problem. Better late than never. He's back.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, like it is, we're trying this new system. We're seeing how it works out.
It keeps disconnecting me.
That's weird. Captain Keeley says, Filoni and good writing do not mix. No, it doesn't. Brandon Trent says, I'm surprised for recasting Balin Skull. Famous actors like Gerard Butler or Liam Schreiber wasn't picked for the role. Captain Keeley says, purely ideological, nothing else. Yeah. Simple. Corrupt and destroy is the goal. Subvert, pervert, and destroy. That is the goal. Darth Paul says Hitman died
I don't know
suddenly.
what their play is though with it. Like, I mean, I don't know. It makes sense like recasting characters, like okay, so like Iron Man, right? So who was it who played like Terrence Howard's character, who and Don Cheadle, his character, like Terrence Howard was, I forget what I forget the character in the movie, but Terrence Howard wanted more money than Robert Downey Jr. and they're like, absolutely not. You're not worth that. So they went with Don Cheadle, right? So like I can understand that, right? But to recast a character that died, I think that's just kind of, I mean, in my mind, I just think that's a little bit disrespectful. But again, I don't know, and maybe not.
No, I see what you're saying there.
It's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, do you think it's disrespectful? Like, not to go down that path? That's like what? Like, if Stevenson if he made that character, and you're gonna try to recast that character, you're banking on the fact that whoever you choose to recast that character is gonna have the same. I don't know. I just think it's terrible all the way around. The show's terrible. The casting was terrible.
I would say,
was the only.
So I would say, in terms of recasting, I think it's fine. He only did the character for one season. This wasn't like a 10-season thing, or 6 season, and then it's like, oh crap, the actor died. Then I would understand, like, there'd be more hesitance there to recast, like that I would understand, and then being like, okay, we're gonna pivot a bit, find a different like character, try and bring in a new character, get a new actor, and all that sort of stuff. But in this instance, I think you're fine. And when it comes to like Marvel slop, you can recast characters just because you need like either somebody younger or whatever to continue on that character. Like that's what I think some people were even expecting when it came to like Marvel's Endgame and stuff like that. Like after that, if you have to recast characters, or I've said too, and I think other people said it too as well, just reboot the whole thing altogether. Reboot and start completely fresh, So then yes, you would basically have to go back to casting new actors and stuff like that. But yeah, if this was like because that'd be like kind of like how Don S. Davis, who played General Hammond, he passed away. They just brought in a new general, but they honored him and everything with his passing and stuff like that. Like that was a good way to handle that. They didn't, and that's where you don't recast the character, you do bring in a new general to fill that role. And like they did, they provided proper respect and all that to the original to Hammond. Yeah. Hammond's bush. I just thought of that since I saw Dan Black right in the chat. But yeah, so otherwise for this, I don't think it matters. It's kind of like how they also want to recast T'Challa, Black Panther, because that actor died. And it's like he did like a few movies, yeah, but it's like it's a superhero character. You can recast and continue things on. I think that's also where there's some leeway too. Brendan Tran asking thoughts on the new Karate Kid Legacy trailer with Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso teaming to train a new Karate Kid. You know what? Maybe we'll get to that. Nerdy Neo said filter use banish. It was super effective. Dan Black right saying that was Rhodes. Both I guess. Lamau. Star Wars Marvel Pierce, how's it going? Saying, the return of Saturday Night Sith. What's up, gentlemen? Oh, just getting through this article. We're pretty much done with that. Just finishing up with some chat on it. And yes, you cannot replace the bush. Hammond's bush. All right. Yeah. See, Marvel Pierce says, if I ran Marvel, I'd bring in Blake and a few others I know, and we'd make $1 billion comic accurate movies. If only we could get something of that sort. Nobody seems to want to maintain accuracy or anything. So I would salute you both, and I'd only hope for the best. Dan Blackroyd says, honor the Hammond Bush. That's right. He got his own ship name and everything. They named one of the Daedalus class ships after him.
Hammond Bush.
Proper respect. That's how you do it. All right.
To be clear, I'm not watching season 2 of Ahsoka.
I didn't even think to bring it up.
No, and I'm not going to watch season 2 of Andor because they're not going to bring his sister back. He's not going to find his sister. And they're not going to find the credits either. So that was the only reason why I watched the show was, one, I wanted to see where his sister was, and two, I wanted to know who took the credits. And I didn't find either or. So you know what? Go suck a fart.
Yeah, we never did get that closure, as it were, about his sister.
And the most important thing, outside his sister in the credits is, where did Luthen get all these antiquities?
We never got answers on that one either. Yeah.
Yeah. Where did he get the Sith holocron when Palpatine?
Those are just Easter eggs. You aren't supposed to think about it that much. Is what my guessing would be their answer.
Pretty big Easter egg. In Star Killer's armor.
Yeah, I know.
It's a pretty big Easter egg.
Oh, just a smidge, right? Just a smidge.
So,
Lord have mercy. But sadly, there is no
Stargate.
Stargate's fantastic. Huh.
I just don't understand why we can't come up with just good shows like that anymore.
You'd think it wouldn't be that difficult, right? Like, especially like I said, like it is when you have a plethora of lore and books or comic books or whatever it is. It's like, oof. How do you just not print money?
I don't know. I've dearly missed Next Gen and Stargate so much.
Well, I'm gonna be very interested to check out Deep Space Nine with for
Yes,
Brad's watch along.
finally, it's finally coming. Like when you sent me that text, I was like, "Is it actually happening?"
Yep.
I mean, I think it's going to be fantastic for the only reason that Cisco is the only captain that punched Q in the face.
Damn. Now that's something.
Knowledge. I love Q though. The actors.
Yeah.
Be very. It'll be fun to. And this is what we should just do going forward, man. Like, let's just put Star Wars in the grave where it belongs, and just move on to other great content.
Well, I think we
started
that. We started that as we did started doing our, Stargate watch alongs.
It still creeps in. Stupidity will always find a way to creep in, one way or another.
And we'll be here to comment on the stupidity. But like it is, at the same time, we will provide those good things like, watching Stargate or talking about it or whatever, or talking about Star Trek and stuff. And with this whole watch along thing with Brad, that I'm finally gonna be checking out Deep Space Nine. Maybe, just maybe, it'll encourage me to give Next Gen a new run through.
Oh, you have to. But the concerning thing is, what do we do when we run out of just great shows? I guess just rewatch them again.
Oh, and there's plenty of shows that I can also show you too.
Yeah. Like, I have to, once I get through Stargate, I have to see if I'm gonna do Atlantis.
Atlantis is a must.
We've talked about. I don't know if you ever did Battlestar Galactica.
I want to watch the original series of that. The original, not the sci-fi one.
You bring this up, yes. You bring this up, and I've heard that is actually essential. The old one, like the original one, is
that's what I mean.
The one to watch.
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about Babylon 5. I think you said that it was not that. It was political.
Sheester and I, especially Sheester, he's got more of a keen eye, and he definitely could not stand it after a point, and he just kind of tuned it out entirely.
Yeah.
So
Babylon 5 will probably be that'll be a skip then.
That'll be a maybe. Maybe we'll like do a revisit or something like that, but otherwise, yeah.
But excited to. It's happening.
Oh, absolutely. Dan Blackred.
The only thing that I'll have to get used. Oh, go ahead.
As I said, a point at Dan Blackred, Hammond manscaped it into the shape of Texas. Good God. Just some trivia for you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate that. Brandon Trent said, speaking of recasting characters, wasn't there a new rumor Marvel will recast a new Black Panther after Chadwick Boseman, who also played baseball player Jackie Robinson? I know there are a bunch of people that keep like almost petitioning for it for them to recast, but I haven't heard anything recently about it, so I don't know. Melissa Lord saying 2 guaranteed $1 billion movies that Hollywood is too stupid to make: Batman Beyond and Dark Knight Returns. Oh, Melissa, though, that's your monkey pawn things. Your monkey pawn this. Like, I would, that would be great to possibly see a Batman Beyond, and especially using Michael Keaton as the elderly Batman and everything. But like you say, Hollywood and everything, they'd mess it up. And I'd probably say the same for Dark Knight Returns.
I don't trust anybody to do it.
Nah, I don't. You need the absolute most correct person, the person that has a severe degree of clout to be able to kick any Hollywood producer in the teeth and say, no, we're making this the way it needs to be made. But sadly, you're not going to find that.
I would say the only person I'd say would be
Christopher Nolan, but he really botched the third one up to where
yeah.
that movie should not even have taken place. So
it was good for the memes, but unfortunately, that's about it.
Batman Beyond would be a good movie though.
Oh, that'd be. Yeah, I just don't know who you'd cast for Terry McGinnis.
I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
Who? Like, you have any type of?
I don't.
Idea?
That's just I don't have any idea at the moment, especially since that was just kind of a suddenly being brought up. I can't think of one at the moment, and that's my problem too. Is like I'm not super familiar with currenty actors, so I have no say in that one. Marvel Purist is asking, when does Andor season 2 release? I don't know. That's a good question. Let's see if there is. Season 2 release date. Allegedly, April 22nd, 2025 is the release date for Andor. Oh God. That's just ugh. How dare they? How dare they?
Right around the corner.
So close to a particular day. Bastards. Melissa Lord says, and if they made those, they'd ruin them anyway, but if done right, it's a billion easily. Easily. Sadly, though, it would be a billion even if not made correctly, because just the name of it alone, and if they just showed the right kind of trailers to suck people in, they would make the money.
Yeah.
Captain Keeley says it's not difficult at all, but they hire retards and are funded by those who want to distort anything good. No good Star Wars will come out of Disney for that reason. Oh, absolutely. No good will come out of Disney for Star Wars, for Marvel, for then on the WB side, no good because they're having the same goddamn problem. Nothing good's going to come out of their DC branch for movies and everything like that. It's all nothing but a cesspit, and it all has to go. And it's hard to say how I want it to all burn considering what's going on right now. But considering they were the kind of people that were gleefully cheering for Texas when it had that deep freeze, it's hard to find some sympathy and empathy. Dan Blackroyd said Snyder already did mess up Dark Knight Returns on screen by trying to mash it up with Death of Superman, and it ruined both for a movie adaptation for a while. Oh, right. I forget about that. That's right. Oof. Yeah. And the Snyder bros out there that will defend tooth and nail what he did. Ugh. But the funny thing is, I don't.
I used to be one of those guys
Sorry, say that again.
I was gonna say I was one of those guys that used to defend the Snyderverse, and then as I
really
got through my and then as I started rereading comics and everything, I realized like it's not good at all.
Not good at all.
No.
All right. Star Wars Marvel Pierce says the one with the male Starbuck. Oh, yeah, the OG. And now the original Starbuck was played by crap, I can't remember his name now, but I know he played Faceman in the original A-Team TV show.
Robert Downey Jr.
What? No. What?
Oh, that's Tropical Thunder. Never mind.
Let's see here. That was Dirk Benedict. Yeah. There we go. Nerdy Neo says, I'm going to watch Babylon 5 after I'm done with Stargate. There you go. Dan Blackroy says, my name was mentioned for the new Black Panther. Is that right? Good luck, sir. Good luck. I think you could pull it off. Still considering it. I say you should go for it. You'll rock it, brother. Brandon Trent says, don't know if you saw a Sonic 3 interview, but did you know Jim Carrey said he would want to return to sequels if there's a good story for How the Grinch Stole Christmas and The Mask? Oh, for God's sakes. I was someone that used to be a big Jim Carrey fan back in the day. When I was a kid, like especially, I loved Ace Ventura. The Mask, I did enjoy the shit out of. I was among some of the few people that loved The Cable Guy. That's the only Jim Carrey movie that I still watch. And I thought he was fantastic in Living Color. And I saw like the Truman Show. That wasn't bad. He just, like so many kind of actors, not actors, but like comedians, like, oh no. And he was really good in the, oh God, the Andy Kaufman, like kind of biography movie that he did. That was probably one of the few times I saw where he like busted out some acting, but I don't know. The Mask, I think they had their opportunity to do a sequel, but they've lost that chance. Like so many things, you know, just let it rest. And How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I mean,
fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
You don't like it?
I didn't really care for it. I'll always probably just prefer the original.
Are you talking about Jim? You didn't care about Jim Carrey's one?
No, I did not. I didn't really care for it.
Goodness, I thought it was fantastic. That's my favorite one. That's why I wake up and eat onions and use it for deodorant.
That is very interesting, sir. But like I because of all the, huh?
What didn't you like about it?
Oh God, it's been so long since I've watched it now. I don't remember every reason why I didn't like it. I just don't think it should have been live action. Like I don't think you need to be remaking like classics like that. Let's like leave it alone. The original animation was you know, perfect the way it is. You don't need to try and change it up, readapt it for the modern audiences or whatever. Just you just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
You're a sad little man.
I'll take it. Tom Holland for Batman Beyond. God damn it. Stop it. Absolutely. Yeah, stop it, Blake. No. Nerdy Neo says Pattinson would have been a better Terry McGinnis rather than Bruce Wayne. I still haven't seen the Pattinson Batman.
You have not?
I still haven't. No. I mean, like everything I hear about it is just like, oh, it was great up until like the last third act or whatever, halfway through or something like that. And it's like, then I just don't care to watch it. And the Riddler sounded retarded. It's like
Saw
what?
Meets.
Oh yeah.
It's like Saw meets Batman.
So I've just had no interest in watching it. Captain Keeley says Tom Holland is the most bland corporate twink ass motherfucker ever. Yeah. Like I tried to give him a chance as, you know, the whole Peter Parker Spider-Man thing. I did. I really, really did. But it just didn't work out. Between the story and him and everything else, it just fell flat on its ass. And it's sad because they had an opportunity to make a great Spider-Man and they fucked it up. Fuck all three of those movies. They all belong in the dumpster. I will always still prefer, as goofy as it can be sometimes, the Tobey Maguire freaking Spider-Man. Brendan Trent said Brotherhood actor Spencer McPherson could play Terry McGinnis. Have you seen DC's Creature Commandos, the animated show which is supposed to set up DCU? Have you seen it, Hitman?
No.
No? Okay.
Not yet.
Not in your wheelhouse. Gotcha. I haven't either. I didn't even know it was out yet. That was a funny thing. Like, I just suddenly heard people were talking about it, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I think it was the last weekend pregame. Shaka Zulu might have mentioned Creature Commandos or something, or Dermy, I forget who, but like, I was just like, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, that show's out now? I had no idea it even dropped. So, shows how in the loop I am for DC stuff. Captain Keeley says, I had one interaction with a Snyder bro, made me damn near sewer slide.
Sewer slide?
Sewer slide owl. Yep. Melissa Lord says, Face Man Dirk Benedict. That's the man. Darth Paws, the Fellowship is slobbering over Sonic 3. Bro, like, I haven't seen it.
Did you watch Sonic 3?
I have not watched Sonic 3.
Terrible.
Some of the people that I follow, they were getting ready, Melee Games, they were getting ready to go see it. They have very mixed feelings on the flick. Even as Sonic fans, like they gave their honest review on it. And I decided to watch the first two movies, and like even in those two movies, and then like they said in the third movie, it's just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey in it. He's not playing a character, and it just seems also pointless. And I'm not a big Sonic fan, so I don't know everything that they'd catch versus what I was seeing, and I was just like, okay, but like, I haven't seen Sonic 3, and I'm sure it's just as mid as the other two movies, but man, they're just so desperate for some kind of win or something, because it was supposed to be up against Mufasa, so they're just desperate for that W over Disney in some way or another, even though that's Paramount. It's like, why do you're just, it's like they think this is the lesser of two evils. So that was it. Man on the Moon. Dan Blackbird said, Man on the Moon is a trip. Yeah, it is. I remember, because again, I was like a big Jim Carrey fan at the time, and I remember enjoying the shit out of that movie. I might have to watch it again sometime. And I remember like checking it. I remember I enjoyed like the kind of the theme song that was done, the song that was done for it, and just the whole thing was, I just found fascinating. I thought it kind of didn't make me go too deep into looking into him, but I was like, damn, Andy Kaufman's a fascinating fellow. Especially when he started doing the mixed gender wrestling and stuff like that, and then I was like, oh, my brain kicked with the wrestling stuff. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And nobody else. There's like the general, like, I even remember my mom talking about it in such a negative light, but then I remember talking to her at a point, Mom, that's wrestling. That's the whole point. He's playing the heel. So good stuff. Darth Paw says, maybe in Sonic 4, Shadow will beat up Nerdrotic for selling pills to babies. Damn! Brandon Trent says, the Grinch has a good video game on PS1 and adapted Dr. Seuss book well. Oh, good to hear. Meter Advocate Timon says, something happened to Cameron Diaz after the mask. She never looked as good. Huh. Was it after the mask or after? Oh no, she might looked a bit different in was it There's Something About Mary? It's not that good. Don't bother, says Captain Keeley. I'm guessing for the Batman. And then Dan Blackburn says the Batman was great until the movie started. Darth Paul says fractured. Speaking of race swaps, the Batman had multiples, but that was right. Yeah, I heard that was also just made me roll my eyes. I'm like, wait a minute. So you race swap Selena Kyle and oh God, why am I forgetting his name? The detective that works with Batman. Gordon. Yeah, they race swapped Gordon and Selena Kyle. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
They also gender swapped Penguin.
Well, that was that cartoon that we checked. But
it was actually confirmed in a comic, though. They did it in the comics as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Did they really?
Yeah, they did. I did research on that.
Yeah, so I mean, all of that combined has been all the reasons why I have not gone near that movie. It's like why I wouldn't want to. It just probably make me angry. Captain Keeley says, a fellow Tobey Maguire supremacist. I say yes. The Maguire is the way to go. Even as kind of goofy as Spider-Man 3 is a heck of a lot better than what Disney produced.
You're telling me that you rather him than Andrew Garfield?
Yes.
This seems to be a point of contention with most people because I argue this point a lot with people. Like I got not really an argument, but a heated debate with somebody at work who obviously thinks Maguire is far better than all the other two, and I said no. I think Andrew Garfield was better. I will. We've talked about this. I will say that the Tobey Maguire movies portrayed the villains the best, closest to the comic books. But Tobey Maguire, all he wanted to do, he was not a good Spider-Man.
I thought he was.
He was a good Peter Parker. No, he was a good Peter Parker, but all he wanted to do was be Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield, all he wanted to do was be Spider-Man. So if you're looking for a good Peter Parker, I will tell you, Tobey Maguire played a good Peter Parker. If you want a really good Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man. Tom Holland was just terrible at both.
Yes, he was. That's the facts.
But I don't know. I've also heard that I also wondered if Sam Raimi had full control to do whatever he wanted. They didn't have anybody to like shut him down. Like, would they have been better than they were?
Well, the third movie would have been
right. So,
but the studio wanted more villains, so he slapped in Venom, and he didn't really know the Venom character that well. He just learned about it last I heard.
He should have just stayed with Sandman.
Yeah.
And it would have been.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be just Sandman and Green and Harry as coming in as a Green Goblin, which that would have been fine.
Yeah, absolutely. But you could tell that Venom seemed to be just like
tacked in.
Just inserted character at the last minute because So
that should have been like the bill for the third movie or the fourth movie, if anything. If they were going to do Venom. Darth Paz says all three Spider-Man movies in the Raimi trilogy are amazing. Yes, Spider-Man 3. I'll take all three of them. Melissa Lord says Toby is Spider-Man, Andrew too, but not Holland. I'll take it. Dan Blackwright says James Gunn can't decide where his actual DCU starts. That's the problem right there. The character Blue Beetle is part of it, but the movie isn't. His Peacemaker show is canon unless he says that scene isn't. The CC is the new start. Dude, they're already off to such a horrible start for trying to restart the DC universe, cinematic universe. Like, what the hell are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, but you also have to give him somewhat credit because look at the trash that was the Snyderverse. Like, you had to get rid of it. And this is a guy that I told you when it first came out. I was like, oh man, this is a great movie because it gave a lot of depth. And then, going and just reading comics, I was like, this is absolutely trash. Like,
yeah.
But anyways, I listen, man. I have my issues with James Gunn. I have my issues with DC. I think Apple should come in and buy DC, but you have to have a starting point, or you have to get rid of. I don't know. I'm so upset and irritated because if you're going to come in and just totally do a reset, then you should never have done The Flash. I can understand why you did it because you need a character, you got to. I mean, you've got to, if you're going to do some type of Flashpoint-esque reset, then that character is obviously the one that you need to use, because DC doesn't have the Tesseract, right? But Ezra Miller should never have, one, been casted as the Flash, and two, he should have been recasted after his whole Hawaii thing. But he's just terrible. So he's like literally the only character that stayed out of the Snyderverse, which I thought was just crap. Like, you're gonna get rid of like Henry Cavill, who played, in my opinion, played a really good Superman. Wasn't really a fan of Gal Gadot. Like, but I'm not a
fan of her either. I don't get the attraction personally.
I'm just not a Wonder Woman fan, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
But Blue Beetle, terrible. Black Adam, atrocious. What's the what other one just came out? I guess Blue Beetle was the most recent, right?
Yeah.
No, Black Adam. No, Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle was the most recent one.
Yeah. I mean, they just need to stick to anime. Or the animated series. Have you watched The Penguin at all?
No, Lord, no, I haven't. Have you?
No, but I hear really good things about it.
Yeesh.
From people. I do think, though, I mean, I think Colin Farrell did a pretty decent job, though, as a live action Penguin. I mean, obviously.
Really?
I mean, who else? I mean, you think it could have been worse?
Oh, I mean, anything could be worse, but I don't know. Like, I haven't cared, just because the usual people are really touting that show as something spectacular.
I haven't watched it, but yeah.
No, neither have I. But I'm just kind of like, I'm not gonna waste my time, because that's also connected to the Pattinson Batman.
It is, which I will give Matt Reeves credit in the perspective of he was trying to create a movie that was a realistic Batman. Like, when you read Long Halloween, when you read Batman Year One, like the whole premise of these two comics is the beginning, the first like 3 years of Batman, like him being Batman, right? So when I do like the fact that, like, in the movie, Batman's utility belt is a police belt. Right, like he's got, and so it's supposed to be realistic, like his Charger.
More to the realism side
like
of things.
The Charger, whatever car he had, I forget what make and model it was, but the idea was he could have like 32 of these hidden within the city, because it's a inexpensive vehicle, that gets the job done, versus Christopher Nolan's rendition, where he had a
military vehicle.
Military. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the
Tumbler was cool.
Oh, I love the Tumbler, right? But so it's just supposed to be more realistic. But I did not like the Riddler, this whole Zodiac. And I've heard people say that, like, the Riddler was supposed to be based off the Zodiac killer. I can't confirm. I don't know yet.
I think that's what I heard too.
I'm not a Riddler. I've not read a lot of the Riddler comics, and I don't know a lot about the character. But it was just very.
Like, I heard
very serial killer-esque.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And I just don't think the guy who, I mean, I like the actor who played Gordon, but I don't think he played a good Gordon. But again, I'm biased, because I think Gary Oldman plays, I think he played the best Jim Gordon ever.
Yes.
Well, not ever, but I think.
Well, he's a very good Jim Gordon, yes.
Yes, live action. Obviously, the animated Jim Gordon is the best, but I mean, Kevin Conroy, rest in peace. But so
rip.
I don't know where we're going with that. DC's just not doing much. They just. But again, like, I don't know what Marvel's doing either, and that's the thing. Like,
they've been circling the drain, like, ever since Endgame. It's just been circling the drain one after the other.
Well, I think ever since Eternals, they've just crapped the pot. And now
pretty much
they're trying to save face. And Star Wars Marvel purists probably be a better guy to talk to, but I think they're trying to save face, bringing Robert Downey Jr. back. But it sounds like this is more like a Marvel, like the What If
Kind of.
You know. So
well, this
I
is
don't know.
the whole Robert Downey Jr. thing too. Is Doctor Doom is supposed to be bringing in? I think that's supposed to be bringing in the Fantastic Four and crap like that. It's just like, guys, you should have done it this way.
But
This
that
is
begs the question: are they going to bring back? Oh my goodness, Chris Evans as Johnny
I
Storm.
think
He came back in
no,
Deadpool.
no, they already killed him in Deadpool. They can't bring him back.
Anything's possible. The Tesseract.
Fair enough.
It's their door.
Nobody is truly ever gone.
No, and they're literally they'll just use the world between worlds, which is their Tesseract. No, but if you do, you've got to bring back Chris Evans because he's Johnny Storm. There is no, I mean,
They would bring him back as Captain America before they brought him back as Johnny Storm. Well, they've already casted their Fantastic Four, so
it has to be in a different universe, then I guess.
Yeah. I think that's how it's kind of starting out too.
Is it in the 616? That's the main universe,
right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I said, after Eternals, man, after Phase, I really enjoyed Phase 1, and I think Phase 1 was probably the best. Phase 2 was that like Thor 2 was decent. Iron Man 2 was okay. I just think anything after Eternals, man, or Phase 3 was, I don't remember what Phase 3 was, but I do remember once Eternals came out, like it just all went to pot. Endgame was, I mean, listen, I'm not a Thanos guy, but Thanos was supposed to be like, in my understanding, like the dark side of DC, like Thanos
Something
was
along those lines,
DC,
yeah.
right. And when you read the comics, like the Infinity Gauntlet and everything, like I know enough about Thanos. Like, the way they portrayed Thanos in the movie was not how he was in the comics. You did
left
not
out major players and stuff like that.
The love triangle between Wolverine and Deadpool, wasn't it? The
Death.
weird
It was between Death and Thanos.
Wolverine. I'm sorry. Yeah. Was it Wolverine or Deadpool? No, it was Wolverine. It was Lady Death, Wolverine, and Thanos.
I just know the main thing was Thanos trying to impress Lady Death.
Yes. Yeah.
And so he starts evaporating the freaking galaxy.
Yeah. But mind you, this is the same company that like botched the whole Madam Web thing.
Oh God. I heard about that. That sounded so bad.
So we should get Star Wars Marvel purist on and do a show, because like I said, I'm to the point now, and I've never.
You want to pick his brain about some things?
Well, here's the thing. I have had this inkling to start reading Marvel comics because DC is just, they're not like these.
I mean, you'd be basically again like trading one evil for another at this point.
Well, yes, but here's the thing though. I would be reading I read old comics, like not like the Golden Age comics, but I read like, the early 2000 comics, because I know anything later is just political, and comics have always been somewhat political, but like, you know what I mean? Like now, like it's very, very polarized. But no, I've had thoughts about it.
Yeah, Nerdy Neo says no, it was Thanos, Deadpool, and Lady Death. For even the Infinity Gauntlet saga?
I have those comics. I will stand on this show and tell you that I used to collect Marvel comics, and I was able to find there's 3 comics, I think. Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War. There's 3 comics I know, and I was able to find them at my local comic book shop. But yes, thank you. It was Deadpool, not Wolverine. I thought it was Wolverine. But yeah, that was the whole thing, and it wasn't in the show. He played this humanitarian. It's the kind of like, Liam Neeson, like Ra's al Ghul in the comics, like.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he was an eco-terrorist, don't get me wrong, but I actually think Liam Neeson portrayed a pretty decent, all things considered, a pretty decent Ra's al Ghul. Like, was he as brilliant? Did they portray him exactly in the comics? No, but.
Right. Dan Blackred has said, but then Superman is another. It never ends with Gunn and his revisionist history. Have you seen that Superman trailer?
Yeah, no, but I heard that I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
Okay, I was just curious.
Maybe we should watch it.
Maybe. So Brandon Trent said Sonic 3 was surprisingly better than 1 and 2 plot wise. It has themes of grief and jokes. One of the action scenes looks like Dragon Ball Z. I mean, it ought to. Sonic is very referential on Dragon Ball Z. Dan Blackroyd said, I have successfully destroyed Sonic and shown the true king who ruled Christmas, Mufasa. Facts make them cry. I saw your post. I saw that. I thought that was pretty hilarious, and I had to retweet it. Meteor Advocate Timon says, Truman Show was so boring. That's what I thought too. That was my thoughts as well. I just did not capture me in any way. And Darth Paz also pointed out Commissioner Gordon. Blackroyd says, Cameron Diaz has never looked hotter than The Mask, but she was still smoking hot for other movies like Charlie's Angels and Something About Mary. Neo also filled in the Commissioner Gordon. Blackroyd says, yeah, pause everything except the Snyder character cameos, even though the entire world of his Suicide Squad movie and that show is still based off that old universe. What was that? Let's see. Pause. It said, isn't all the Peacemaker canon to the DCU besides the ending? If true, that's hilarious. Okay. I didn't watch the Peacemaker or any of that stuff. So, Blackroyd says they retroactively tried to tarnish the character with the Spider-Verse movies. Oh, don't get me started with that. We watched that slop. They turned the Toby Peter into a slop. Was that supposed to be the Tobey Maguire Peter Parker? I just thought that was just just like another rando freaking Spider-Man. Like it's its own little contained universe, basically. So I didn't take it as that. I just took it as an overall dig and overall just disrespect towards Peter Parker Spider-Man in general when they turned him into a slob like that. That still to this day, that's just angered the shit out of me. Brandon Trent says, have you checked out reviews of Batman Arkham Shadow, the most expensive $400 MetaQuest VR 3 headset game? No, but I remember we checked out the trailer for it when it first dropped and we weren't impressed. Darth Paz says, Abeloth is apparently casted for season 2 of Ahsoka. Because of course. Filoni has to have that level of a big bad, because then Ahsoka is going to save the universe. Brendan Trent says, director of Camouflage, Ryan Patton, and his whole team paid more attention of Arkham games lore than current Rocksteady with Suicide Squad. Bro, don't even get... Ugh. Darth Paz says, the Flashpoint Paradox could have been made into live action. I'm not Oh, isn't that the Flash and stuff? Dan Blackroyd says, nothing with Venom would matter in Spidey 3 or 4 with Topher Grace playing the character of Eddie Brock. That was, well, like I when I say, like, you know, carry over to a next movie sort of thing to then introduce Venom, I didn't like keeping Topher Grace was not an idea I even thought of. No, like cast somebody better. There had to have been anybody else better. The movie was doomed from the casting alone. Dude, that was, yeah. God dang it, nerdy. Captain Keeley saying, not attractive, probably had a nose job. That's a possibility in the Hollywood system. Darth Paz says, the critical drinker likes the Penguin, so that tells me not to watch it. Him and Mahler like that's what started turning me off from them, is that they were praising freaking Andor. I'm like, are you guys fucking serious? I mean, I know you're not fans, you're not like, you know, lore enthusiasts or whatever for Star Wars, but Jesus fucking Christ, are you kidding me here? You got to have some basic recognition of what the hell's going on. Captain Keeley saying can't act. I forget what that might have been too. Melissa Lord says, see, too stupid. They have Keaton and make a Flash movie with better than Ezra. Dude, like that was such a waste of Keaton too. Good Lord. Melissa Lord says Penguin is fantastic. You can't tell it's Colin Farrell. I've seen him, like he's just like caked in prosthetics and everything. I've seen him. I haven't seen the show itself. Like I've just seen the screenshots of him floating around. Keeley says his plan in the movie is retarded. Makes zero sense. Endgame is ass too. Lamau, so much slop. Yeah, it's this one here, Hitman. He got me to watch Endgame because he wanted me to watch Endgame and Infinity War because I think he wanted my opinion and to be backed up that the movies were ass as well.
Yeah.
He's like, "Have you seen Endgame?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Did you watch it?" I'm like, guess. So I did end up watching him. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. The Infinity Gems, Lady Death, Dan Blackroyd said from Far From Home is technically the end of phase 3. Far From Home. Is that the second one? I think it was. Yeah, the Mysterio one. That was shit. Couldn't stand any of those movies. God damn. Dan Blackroyd says Sony can't get anything right by themselves with another entity holding their hand through it without it. Dude, they can't. Sony doesn't know what the fuck they're doing either. They're just as bad as DC and WB. Heads up their asses. But I don't even know who they'd bring in for a creative person for it. Brandon Tran said Arkham Shadow did do 3 things I didn't expect to see. Make 3 coolest boss fights: Carmine Falcone, Lyle Bolton, aka Lockup, and Shadow Batman. Psychology of Criminals and Origin of Two-Face. Huh. Is that the MetaQuest game? I'm just not super big on it. Dan Blackroyd says it's nebulous because they use key scenes from those movies to tell the backstory. That version of Peter Parker, dude. Yeah. We reviewed those movies too on here. God damn. And hello. Look at it. Potsy's Posty's Bald Spot. How are you doing? Over on the Twitch side. This is live? Yes, we are live. This is cool. Thank you. Darth Pod says Mahler is far better than Drinker. Yeah, but like I said, Mahler and their EFAP crew were giving praise to Anbor. So, but I mean, like, honestly, like I started thinking about it too after his multiverse, the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. All he ends up doing is repeating his points. Like when I stopped and thought about it, like he just keeps rerunning and restating each of his points to make this long fucking like 5-hour review. Like it was no point. You could have cut down so much. Dan Blackroyd says, hear me out. Michael Keaton is Bruce and Tom Holland is Terry. Oh God. They already know each other in real life, so it makes sense. Keep it bouncing around in your mind until it makes sense. Do I need to hit my head with a brick?
Yes.
This is the Batman Beyond you need. Oh God. Darth Ball says you should watch Drinker's movie on stream. Oh, that's right. He's making a movie, isn't he? Maybe we'll have to. Okay, so we have other news, other things to get to. We just kind of got lost in talk and chat and stuff like that. I kind of wanted to make you a little bit angry here. Maybe. Okay. I don't know how you'll take this actually. But I thought it was kind of interesting. Here we go. So yeah, allegedly over here on GameSpot, they are saying Halo coming to Switch 2 and PS5 in 2025, alongside Gears, Flight Sim, and more reports. Sorry, I forgot to share it. So yes, it's also been reported that Final Fantasy VII Remake, I call it D-Make, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Hellblade 2, and Gears of War could show up on rival consoles. Could. Okay, so are we dealing with this more just a rumor? Is this come on, dude.
Rumor mill.
Microsoft will launch Halo Master Chief Collection and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2 in 2025. According to a recent report, and that might not be all, Nate the Hate. Oh God, yeah, this is getting into some sloppy freaking rumor cast. Revealed this on his podcast recently, adding that Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming to Xbox as well in 2025. Windows Central reporter Jez Corden corroborated this and said Microsoft isn't stopping there. Quote, Corden reported that Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Age of Mythology, and Gears of War Ultimate Edition are scheduled to come to PS5 this year. Whether or not they show up on the Nintendo Switch 2, however, wasn't mentioned in the report. Tom Warren of The Verge recently said that he was willing to bet, quote, that Microsoft would have some Xbox games ready for the Switch 2. That doesn't mean that they're going to be putting Halo or anything on there. That's just silly. God dang it, I got lured into this shit. This is what I get for not going over it first. But you know what? I like this. I like us getting surprised sometimes, you know? Of course, plans can change at any moment for any number of reasons. So while these reports claim to have accurate information, nothing is locked down for sure. GameSpot has contacted Microsoft in an attempt to get more information. GameSpot, once upon a time, you were a decent site to get information from, but you have not been for quite some time, I guess. I'm reaffirmed in that bias against you. This report comes not long after an analysis said they expect 2025 to be the year that Microsoft begins to bring, quote, all their big games to PS5. None of this should be terribly surprising, though, as Microsoft gaming CEO Phil Spencer himself has said any Xbox game could come to PS5. One of the next big Xbox games to come to PlayStation is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Who gives a shit? It sounded like a very mid game at best. Which launches for PS5 in spring 2025. Beyond this, there are ongoing rumors of a Halo Combat Evolved remaster project that could launch on PS5. Looking further out, experts have said that the Halo franchise changing engines to Unreal would make it theoretically easier to bring the series to PlayStation. In May, it was reported that Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella and CFO Amy Hood are mandating increasing margins at all divisions, including Xbox. At the time, it was reported that Microsoft might look to release even more of its first-party games on PlayStation to help increase revenue. You know, there was a time where I could have sworn Microsoft Xbox was the leading platform. Or at least certainly, maybe not the leading, but they were certainly I want to say just like a blow up hit. So this just seems really funny that they're ready and willing to throw their games over to PS5 like this. Like that just seems baffling to me.
This has to be a rumor mill. That can't be real.
I mean, if they're trying to allegedly increase revenue, maybe. There is said to be an internal plan within Microsoft called Latitude that is focused on formulating plans to bring more first-party Xbox games to rival systems. In other Xbox news, Microsoft is holding the next Xbox Developer Direct event on January 23rd. The broadcast will feature a brand new game. So yeah, that was that, and I just thought I'd get your thoughts and opinions on it because I'm just kind of like, Okay, so Nerdy Neo says, yeah, 360 was king. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was the original Xbox or if it was the 360, but yeah, I remember the Xbox being at one point being king. Nerdy Neo also said they aren't abandoning Xbox. I don't think it's saying abandoning. It's just been like they're going to be porting a bunch of games. Oh, Timon was saying Microsoft is abandoning Xbox. I don't think they're abandoning it necessarily, but it does sound like they're kind of taking some, like, this is almost sounding like Sega porting out a lot of their games at a point, and then they finally phased out the Sega, what was it, probably the Dreamcast or whatever at the time, and they just phased out completely into just being game developers instead of actual competitor for console wise. So, yeah. Your thoughts, sir?
It just doesn't make. I don't know. That would be like Sony porting over all their Spider-Man games to Xbox.
I mean, they've already started porting Spider-Man over to PC.
Well, that's
so they're halfway to porting it to Xbox.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Take PC out of it, because you can play Halo and Gears of War on PC as long as you have the Game Pass. But I don't know. I just this is what has This is what has made. If you're an Xbox guy, this is what has made Xbox great, and if you're a PS guy, that's what has made PS5 great, or PlayStation great. It's like the games that are exclusive to that console. And so when you remove that, when you just over, it's like
it's what's maintained Nintendo's being such a big competitor in the market, because they've maintained their exclusivity titles, their exclusive titles,
with the exception of Rare, like the Donkey Kong 64, because it's not portable.
Because that was a third party developing that game.
Was Rare. But it's interesting, Microsoft owns Rare.
Yeah, I know.
But so I don't know. The way that I can look at it is, like, you can look at a console and have a debate on which one is built better, right?
Right.
But when it comes to games and creativity, that's always been kind of it's like cops and firefighters, man. It's like Star Trek and Star Wars fans. It's like Tupac and Biggie. There's always been a divide between the two, and it's because of what they produce, or you know what I mean. And so that might be a really bad example, but like, I don't know, it just pisses me off. And I wonder if this is actually a rumor mill, or if this is Doomcock who wrote this, because the idea of like Halo going to PS5, it's like, that's crazy. Because that's what makes Xbox great. It's Halo, Gears of War.
Yes.
There's though, when you look at it, those were the two. Those were like, there's others, but those were like
their breakout, yeah.
Right. And for PS5, it was, or PlayStation, it was, has always been Spider-Man, and they've had others like Spyro, I think was exclusive.
Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was their original mascot, for God's sakes, and look how that now turned out.
Rayman was fantastic. Right. So PlayStation, and I, dare I say, like, I will give respect where respect is due. PlayStation has great games, but that is what has made PlayStation great, is those games.
Yeah.
And you can only play them if you get a PlayStation. So it's stupid to, if Microsoft owns the rights to these games, it would be stupid. Like, yes, you can make the point that, like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna port them over to PlayStation because we want revenue. But that's going after small fish. You should keep it exclusive to Xbox so people will buy Xbox consoles. Because you're talking about making a you're talking about making a $59 profit, or, well, that was back in the day, honestly. Now it's like you're talking about making a $79 profit versus a $599 profit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, more people are apt to spend $79 than they are a console. It's like, well, maybe, but even then, those games are expensive. But it's just, when I don't know. I get when you have people like you and I who are, I'm a loyal brand shopper, right? So I've always been Xbox. I did own a PlayStation. I own a PlayStation 4, and I bought PlayStation 4 specifically for Destiny.
Which turned out to be. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Right. So that kind of ruined my PlayStation experience, but I've always been Xbox, and why? It was Halo. First it was Counter-Strike on the PC, then it turned to Halo. I remember very specifically going to my friend's house in the neighborhood, and we'd play Halo, and that was the start of
of your
my
love for Xbox. Yeah.
So it doesn't I mean, if it's about money, fine, sure, but if it would make more sense to keep it the way it is, because at the end of the day, it's like, well, like what's the difference between PlayStation and Xbox other than the controller and whatnot. And but I don't, it pisses me off. It's like, leave it alone. That is an Xbox game. That is a PlayStation game. If you're a gamer, you know that Spider-Man's PlayStation, God of War, Gears of War. Well, God of War is PlayStation, and Halo, Gears of War, all those are Xbox. So I don't know. Everything's about money though. So like if that's what they want to do, then like whatever, fine. But I have not been able to play. There was a while there where I was not able to play God of War because I didn't have an Xbox. I couldn't play Rayman because I didn't have an Xbox. I couldn't play Crash Bandicoot I could not play those games because I didn't have a PlayStation, right? And because they were really good games, it incentivized me to want to buy a PlayStation at times because I wanted to play it. So
well, and that's what those exclusive titles are generally meant to do, is entice you to the system. But if you start losing those games, then you lose reason to entice people to your system.
Yes, I do, but I understand this. So I understand we live in an age of like cross-platform, right? Because like if you and I are best friends, and I bought Call of Duty, and I want to play with you, I can't play with you unless you have an Xbox. So I understand these MMOs to make them cross-platform.
The cross-platform,
yeah, but hey, when it comes to like Halo and Spider-Man and these exclusive games, like, no, don't make them exclusive, or keep them exclusive, because that's what makes them great,
right?
So I really hope did Doomcock write this? Is he still relevant?
Within his circles, yes, but not with this one. Not with gaming.
This should equally piss you off because you started as a PlayStation guy. So how would you feel if they made Rayman, or I mean, you could still find. I'm sure you could still find those games. But how would you feel if they made Spyro, Crash Bandicoot?
I mean, they already have with those games, but at the same time,
not on Xbox. You're talking about PC's the one that's the exception to the rule, right? Because for whatever, it's always been like that. It's always been that you've been PC cheats on both in the relationship. They're the third wheel. It cheats on both. Like, so you can't you say, oh yeah, they have, but no, not to Xbox. To PC, yes. And that's just, I can't speak for that because I'm not a PC guy. I don't know, but it's always it's like going to a party and they're double dipping the bean dip, which is wrong, right? You go to a party and you see somebody double dipping the bean dip, that's not good.
It's not. You're right. It's not good at all.
This should make you mad because you're a PlayStation guy.
I'm not though anymore. I've dropped. That's the thing. Okay, so that's the thing. Like I have
You're
walked.
Telling me there's nothing left in you that is still somewhat loyal to PlayStation.
None.
You've just moved on.
Yes, I have.
You're a cold heart. You're cold-hearted, and I don't believe you.
So like it was.
What was the moment? What was the defining moment that I just didn't care anymore?
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
So
you have the floor.
So like it was like I was being and I think I've told this story. I was being swayed at one point when it did come to like the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 at the time. I've talked about this, and that Xbox went full like authoritarian, like nanny state tier shit with their whole, you have to do daily check-ins, all the games are going to be digitally locked to your system and all that stuff. And then Sony comes out and goes, we're not doing that. I'm like, awesome. I know where to go now, because I had friends on Xbox and I had friends on PlayStation. I'm like, well, where am I going to go in this? That E3 was the damnation for them, for Xbox. And so I went away from Xbox and I went over to Sony full time again. I kept my Xbox 360, although now that thing has died. That's also my pisser about 360s and stuff, is that goddamn red ring of death. But for PlayStation, I was rolling fine, but my own annoyances with both things is that, the whole yearly subscription stuff just to play online or whatever, although Nintendo has the same goddamn thing now.
Right.
But no, Sony, they started to heavily censor games from Japan and stuff like that, and people can have their feelings as they want to about, like, about the fan service games and stuff like that. They have every right to be on the systems as any other game. But those games in particular, a lot of the anime games and stuff like that, not just the fan service games, but just any of the anime games were being censored. And yet you still had freaking trash games like The Last of Us 2 with full-on gratuitous sex scenes and stuff like that being allowed no problem on the system. And so with things like that, and just their attitude, and then also moving one of the corporate headquarters from Japan to California, I tapped out. I was done with Sony. I walked away. I'll still like emulate the old system games, PS2, PS1. Otherwise, after that too, like the PlayStation 3 was dog water. PlayStation 4 was dog water. There might have been some okay games here and there, but I was otherwise done. That's just it. I unlike a lot of people, I am able to walk away from these systems, these companies and stuff like that. I am willing to do so, and I did.
Well, I'm on the verge of walking away from Microsoft because they've now it's funny, not to cut you off. Remember when we did the article about the moderating, the chat room?
Yeah.
They've started it. My buddy got banned for 21 days because he got an argument with a 12-year-old. And he got reported. So like you can still play, but you can't use your mic. So they literally, and I did not think that was ever.
And PlayStation's doing the same thing. So they're both guilty of that one too.
I didn't believe it though. I thought, oh, this is just an empty threat. Like they surely they can't censor free speech. No, they did.
Oh, they're a private corporation. They can do what they want.
Yeah. Can't call a 12-year-old Well, literally, I don't know what he said to him, but he got reported and he got in because I was playing with him. I was like, well, I can't hear you, and he's like, I may have got in chat jail. 12-year-old.
But yeah, So and like Meteor Average Timon says, Sony's biggest problem is the craptastic duo Amy Pascal and Avi Arad. Yeah, they have a lot of problems over there.
They make it really hard to walk away though, because it's like at the end of the day, it's like, well, I brought up the example of like, people boycotting Anheuser-Busch. Like,
right.
Yeah, you boycotted it, but you still were able to go to other beer companies and drink beer.
Yeah.
Gaming, I don't think anybody will actually boycott these companies
won't.
because where are you going to go?
They don't. They have to keep. I said this on Weekend Pregame. The gamers have to keep consuming every new little thing. They can't stop themselves. They can't make actual smart decisions looking at games and going, you know what? I'm not going to buy this one. You know what? This one doesn't look great. You know what? How about no? How about no? How about just fucking no?
No, but it's so hard though, because at the end of the day, and I don't know if you've said this, but the gaming industry it's cut. Whether it's Xbox or Sony, they're cut from the same cloth. It's just a different side of the same coin.
Right.
And you can sit there and say, "Well, I'm going to boycott Microsoft because I don't like the ESG and DEI stuff that they come out with." But then you go play Spider-Man 2 or, Hogwarts Legacy. You decide you're not going to play Xbox because of that stuff, but they're doing the same thing for Sony.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm going to go play PC. It's like, okay. But again, it's like you can't escape it. You would have to do a full-on boycott and figure out, what you're going to consume next. And that's why it's so hard. And that's why when people and that's why I use the Anheuser-Busch example all the time, because it's like you boycotted a company, but you were still able to consume.
Yes.
So you weren't really giving up anything.
No.
You just decided not to go to that company.
Pretty
With
much.
the gaming industry, it's like, how do you really do that without consuming anything? You can't.
No.
Because Xbox and Sony, all these gaming companies are all guilty, and of some extent, of pushing DEI, ESG, all the, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he got on that. I just wanted to just say that because
You're
it's
fine.
like
You're good.
you're not gonna. Yeah.
Timon said Xbox never had anything for me. The thing that I liked about Xbox, like with the 360,
Wolfenstein
was their achievement system. I dug it. Like it sucked me in. I love the idea of getting achievements and stuff like that. I'm not as hardcore about it as say a Mr. Nerdy Neo, which go check out his stuff when you get a chance. Him and Dude 1286 are avid achievement hunters. So check their stuff out. They're always talking about it, what new achievements there are to grab. That's what I liked about the 360 in particular at the time, was the introduction of achievements. So, and PlayStation hadn't rolled out the trophies yet. That was still a very slow thing to be rolled out. They eventually got there. It just took them.
In a sense. It's no
different. It's the same thing. It's just they called it trophies instead of achievements, which is fine.
Yeah.
Everybody can have their own thing. It's just then like PlayStation, they borked enough. Apparently, according to Timon, South America is largely PlayStation territory. Interesting. I did not know that. Brandon Trent says Arkham Shadow does have a few hidden cameos. Arnold Wesker, ventriloquist, Ratcher, Dr. Lee Tompkins, Officer Bowles, Shrike, Nightwing villain, Joe Chill, Ferris Bull, and Bronze Tiger. Interesting. Timon says, we need another company to enter the market, making a good console focusing on games and more pro player, and Nintendo is not that. They are sadly not.
But what was
and good luck. Good luck for anybody trying to enter into the current atmosphere, because the people have tried with things like, and that's garbage, with On Live and stuff like that. And I know there's a couple others, but I forget at the moment. Like, I mean, Jaguar back in the day. Unfortunately, it's just now.
Are you talking about a new company, like a new?
Yeah, or just a new console in general. Hell,
well, the Steam Deck was pretty.
The Steam Deck has been very popular, yes, but it's not making the same waves as like a home console sort of thing. So because it's all portable. It's all portable.
Well,
so,
yeah. But it's also expensive. Like they're like their level 3 is over $1,000.
No, it's like it's $700. So close enough.
I thought it was
close enough.
Well, versus a $250 Switch.
Yeah. Nerdy Neo says some Xbox exclusives have already gone to PlayStation, and a couple of PlayStation exclusives have come to Xbox, so it's not out of the realm of. No, I know, absolutely. Like they bounce around different games all the time, but like there are certain staples I think to a console that I think should mean. It's like you won't see Mario. Well, I mean, they slowly launched Mario as mobile games for like Mario Kart and stuff like that, but
it'll be the end of the world if Mario ever comes to Xbox.
Yeah, that would be the end. That'd be like the beginning of the end. And then he says
they've also. Like
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I feel like Nintendo's the last gaming company that is traditional, and they have stuck to their principles, and they will not port to other.
Bit. Nerdy Neo says they've always lost money on the hardware anyway, so it makes sense to sell their software on as wide a player base as possible. Then I would say make games that are designed for that. Again, like I think for selling the hardware, that would be the Halos, that would be the Gears of War and stuff like that. Maintain those for those systems, and then develop games that are in-house, but will go to multi-consoles and stuff like that. Timon says gaming and movies have the same problem. Every product must make all of the monies. Yes, I mean, yeah.
If you do that though, if you release the exclusive games to the other consoles, what incentivizes you to want to buy an Xbox or PlayStation? Are you just gonna play Russian roulette? You're just gonna draw straws? Like what draws you to do that?
No,
for me, like I said, I fell in love with Halo, and so by proxy, if I wanted to play that game, I had to buy an Xbox.
Right.
I could not play it on a play. So it's like I just don't understand this. Like if you
we're old fogies the way we look at it. I think.
But that's neither here nor there though, because at the end of the day, if you do that, like how do you make your decision on what you want to buy?
Huh?
Oh, well, the PlayStation 5 looks like 2 binders standing up, so I like that look, so I'm just gonna buy it. Oh, I like I just like big black squares, so I'm just gonna buy the Xbox
Gonna buy the
X.
Xbox, yeah. Hello, New York, Florida man saying, what up, chat? Hello, welcome to Saturday Night Sith, and on here, the Fractured Filter channel. Hello, I am the Fractured Filter, and my co-host here, Jay Hitman. How are you doing? And smash the like button. Thank you very much. Nia saying, how is having your games on more platforms anything but better for the player? You can play on whatever platform you want to. More options is always better. I don't disagree. Like, I remember even back in the day having the idea of like a whole like a console that was basically like everything all in one. But at the same time, I do believe, having competition is good. I think, it breeds better games. It could breed, better, just more like I'm somebody that misses the days of, Sega does what Nintendo don't. The old competitive edge that they were always trying to outdo each other in some way with their games, with their systems and stuff like that. And that in of itself can bring out the better of them and bring out some amazing games, potentially some creative ideas. I just feel like it's kind of like politics in this. They're all in, it's just an incestuous thing. They're all in bed with each other. And when you do that, then you just get stagnated. You aren't really pushing the limits possibly of what either the tech can do, or pushing the what could be done with storytelling and game and just like different gameplay mechanics. I think that's also the biggest problem with something like the what they call like patent trolling and stuff like that. You have things that are locked into these companies that should not be locked in. They should be like it is WB Games or whatever, whoever owns for Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. They have again like the perfect system in my eyes, or at least a fantastic system to use for superhero games in general. Could you just imagine what could be done with the Nemesis system? But it's locked into their system, into their bullshit, under massive amounts of law and bullshit. What if that had happened back in the day with things like Doom? The fact that people were able to take the code or whatever, the system from Doom, and port it over and create actually some stunning and amazing cool things. We got new things out of Dark Forces with things like grenades. I think Neo, you might have mentioned something about that. But you even got some semi-open world games in Strife. People really pushed the tech back in the day. They took things like that and actually created something new and added a new flavor to it, instead of just copying and pasting like a lot of what we see now when it comes to things like Call of Duty and stuff like that. It's just copy paste. Like, you may get some things that are a little bit changed up. Like, I would say between like Overwatch and Marvel Heroes, some things in Marvel Heroes they've tweaked a little bit here and there. While it's basically Overwatch with a Marvel skin, they have like the team up function and stuff like that I do dig, and I think is pretty neat that you can then add that extra cooperative teamwork to go on with whatever character you happen to be picking. But they aren't really moving things in another direction. Like, to me, I just like, yeah, people have said, oh, these games look great, this is the way to do it. Yeah, like, I don't subscribe to it. Like, to me, I just feel like in general, it's just kind of come to a halt. And I don't know, like, that's, you call it my cynicism or whatever, but it's just the way I've kind of come to see gaming. That's why I still prefer, playing older games, going through with my library of stuff that I haven't played yet. It's gonna be something I really need to try and do. So once I'm done with things like Mass Effect, getting through 2 and 3, I really need to start digging through some of my through not just my collection, but digging through into games that I just have never played before and trying them out. And not new slop. Sorry, but I'm just anyways, that's my rant. Captain Keeley saying, quote, and if you and I are best friends, what are you trying to say there, Hitman? Nerdy Neo says, if the game is on my platform of choice, why does it matter if it's on another platform? I think I went into my little rant about all of that. Captain Keeley says, he's a cynical asshole, Hitman. You should know this.
Yes.
Everybody's just chatting with each other. It's freaking awesome to see. Yeah, Timon, you're right. Nintendo's also begun censoring a lot of stuff as well. Captain Keeley says, damn, you can't yell the N-word at the top of my lungs at an 11-year-old. You know, that's a damn shame. You should be able to say what you want to stupid little 11-year-olds, even if they are on Call of Duty. If they're playing a mature game, get ready for some mature language, kid. Keeley says COD on the 360 was the best. Call of Duty on PC was way better. Just saying. Dan Blackroyd says, I've gone back to solitaire on a table with real playing cards. You, sir, are winning. That is winning right there. Nerdy Neo, directing this at you, sir. Hitman, why buy X console? Why buy whichever you prefer? Why buy a oh! Wow. Hello. Thank you. Where is it coming in? I know I need to get it to display to say the thing there. To say what the message was. But thank you. Acid Stormblade for the $3.33 tip. Saying good to see you again. Good to see you, sir. And thanks for that. Appreciate it, buddy. Nerdy. So yeah, do you have a response to Nerdy Neo?
Say that again, my thing cut off.
Oh. Go ahead.
No, say what he was saying.
Gotcha. He says, Hitman, why buy X console? Buy whichever you prefer. Why buy a Toyota over a Honda?
I guess I'm confused about the question. So why buy a certain
Why buy a certain console? Buy whichever you prefer. Why buy a Toyota over a Honda?
Well, if the game that you want to play is on said console, you would buy that console, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But if he's coming from the point of if all the games are not exclusive anymore, then is that what he's saying? I guess I'm having a hard time understanding it. If all the games, like if Xbox release all their games to PlayStation release all their games to Xbox, then just buy whatever you want.
I don't know. I like because the funny thing is too, like when it comes to when you're trying to compare like cars, like people find different things about why they like certain things about the cars, like when it comes to features, when it comes to manufacturing and stuff like that. So that's also why people will go to certain consoles, is they find that one is more powerful than the other. Some of it's kind of superficial at this point, but you know, like that's why people don't go towards Nintendo. They find it's too much of an underpowered console. So they go to a PlayStation, they go to an Xbox, or yes, if you want a portable system, they'll go to a Steam Deck or something like that. That now there's even multiple kind of handhelds out there that are more powerful than a Nintendo Switch. So sometimes there are things that are what's under the hood does count for people. So
I think for me personally, like I can't, like if I came over to your house and you had a PlayStation, I could not play your PlayStation console because I like the controller itself is just, it's foreign to me and I don't like it, right? But I can.
Yeah, that was part of why I ended up liking the PlayStation 4 was the controller felt a little more comfortable to me. But now I much prefer the Xbox controller more than anything. Like to me, it is very comfortable. I have large hands. It fits perfectly for me. It's now just become the de facto controller to me because of that. And I don't like, I saw the PlayStation 5 controller. It looked to me like kind of goofy and awkward. So, and that's the one thing I kind of dislike about the Switch is especially when you take off the Joy-Cons, they're very small, and for me, doesn't work out. The Pro controller is a little better for that, but then that means I have to lug around the Pro controller, so I'm kind of up the creek without a paddle on that one, as it were. Yeah, the Genesis does what Nintendo don't, dude. And like it was like you had the competition between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and they were both providing different aspects of things, and you want to enforce certain reasons. I mainly played Mortal Kombat because I love the theme, I like the gameplay, and you got to do fatalities. That was the best. And then eventually I did like I really played the hell out of Street Fighter Alpha 3. And then like Marvel vs. Capcom, they provided a certain thing that it didn't, but yes, and then you're getting a multi-port sort of thing. Even though I think at the time it was mainly on Dreamcast, which just meant I had to go over to my buddy's house and play it. Timon says achievements or trophies are pointless. I only do extra stuff if the game rewards me for it, or to do 100% in game if I love the game. Killing thousands of monsters, or collecting 1 billion gold does nothing for me. I understand that 100%. I do. I really do. I might be like a weird, maybe like the dopamine hit sort of thing. Like you hear that little, the achievement pop. You're like, I got a thing. It could be just as baseline or something like that. It's ironic too, because like I forgot where I was talking about it, or if I was just talking about it with my brother, how you used to create your own fun in games. Like you used to just find ways to I was talking about it on X because Melee Games had posted had posted about Mario Kart 64, and I posted about the different the 4 square map where it had like basically 4 different bases, and I said how like when we were done doing the races and when we were done doing the straight up battles with each other, we used to just screw around and have fun, and we used to like take a base and defend it, and then basically do like preemptive strikes against each other and go, no, it wasn't me, even though like you have like we never did anything to block our the shared screen, because it's only cut off by 4 corners. You could easily look at each other's screen. It was basically the honor system, and we all, as for the most part, possibly held to it. I don't know, some people might have cheated, but like it was that day and time, like we used to create our own fun. And those were some fun freaking times. But that was, I think, part of the fun of couch co-op. And we even used to do that with like GoldenEye. Like did all sorts of stupid shit. It was fun. Captain Keeley says Xbox controller is superior. I'm well in that camp now, yeah. And Nerdy Neo, of course, agrees. Meteor Advocate Timon saying the PS5 controller is very comfortable. Not for me. But I'm glad. Glad it works for you. Captain Keeley says the achievement pop twits filters tipples. It does. My freaking tipples. All right. Okay. So that was that one. That one I thought it would. I wondered what the heck I would get out of you from that one. Let's see here. I don't know. I'm kind of second guessing talking about Mangold here. I don't know if I really care to. And I think probably, if anything, Tim on the spacing probably did a better job talking about it. I don't know. Should we go into this discussion about Mangold?
If you want.
You don't sound any more interested either.
I mean, unless you have something else that's more interesting.
Like that was the thing. Like I have another gaming topic. Like I wanted to kind of mix up the topics a little bit,
Is it better than Mangold?
It's definitely up there. Yeah. I'd say it's more, you know what? Because I'd say, like I said, if you want like probably a better take on ripping Mangold a new one. That would probably be the better way to go about it. Is United Spacers Alliance, their most recent, his most recent spacing. I think I didn't quite get to that point, but I know Mangold was a subject. So really quick, Brandon Trent says, will you do a reaction to Superman trailer or wait till another day? Maybe when we get through this next article, maybe we'll do that as the finale. Captain Keeley says, Hitman is unamused by Filter's Boogie 2988 impression. I don't, Keeley, Hitman, he doesn't know any of that stuff. And that's why I love having him here, because he's kind of the outside man to a lot of the internet autism. So
Yes.
Hitman is not quite as dialed in. I don't even want to say dialed in, because dialed in almost sounds like you're like, it's like a good thing to be, in the know. But him not knowing about Boogie is all the better for him. I wish I didn't know about Boogie, for God's sakes.
The Boogeyman?
No, he's another YouTuber. Oh boy. You don't want to go. That's a rabbit hole you don't necessarily want to go down. Not the worst one, mind you, to go down. But certainly it's
Why
up.
not like Boogie?
If you wanted to look up his documentary on YouTube, if you want to start somewhere, you could start with that, his little documentary.
I don't know if
otherwise don't go near. Don't. Captain Keeley, internetism is my specialty, dude. Like I've seen tons of it. I've seen, I've been around for, God, at least, I mean, not as long as some people have. My observing of certain spheres didn't really start happening until 2014 with Gamergate and everything. So after that, then of course, then I started following along with some of the stuff. I'm like, oh my word. Yeah, Tipples lore. Yeah, it's a don't watch it, Hitman. He is okay. So yeah, don't.
I just don't know who Boogie. Like, who names themselves Boogie?
Okay, Boogie 2988 is a YouTuber that did mostly gaming commentary, gaming stuff, and he would do like little videos as a character called Francis, which was basically probably him dialed up to 9,000. And it was your very, very typical fat obnoxious nerd. And that was kind of part of his shtick. But then, like I said, he would do commentary videos on gaming news and stuff like that. And he's done gaming streams. And for a time, he kind of got known as like the Mr. Rogers of gaming, or just the very friendly good guy of gaming. And then as time went along, eventually all of that started to slip, and he has gone either like mask off or whatever, and it's just been a spiral down the toilet. And that is the abridged version. Captain Gilly, no, don't do Tipple's lore. I'm just giving him the brief overview. That's where we'll leave it. All right, on to this other gaming article here. Okay. So, Nexus Mods is a mod place that I once upon a time loved very dearly, but they have since been, much like many places, gone down the toilet. Oh, and sorry. There, so you can see the article too. But yes, Nexus Mods is now facing backlash for removing a Donald Trump hero skin, which I'm sure you can now see on your in Discord there, Hitman. So, and this, yeah, all right. But yes, Nexus Mods has come under fire for removing a mod that depicted Donald Trump as Captain America. In an act of blatant censorship within the modding community, the incident is part of a broader trend of content removal on the platform, raising questions about the future of modding and creative expression in gaming, which is the antithesis to modding. It is absolutely the worst thing you could try and do to modding. Modding is meant to be the free space for people to create wild, wacky stuff, whether you agree with it or not. People should be absolutely allowed to create, especially if they can, create the things that they want to slap into the game. And hey, it's up to anybody else if they want to download the mods and put it in. It should be strictly guided by the person wanting to find particular mods. But Nexus, as of it's been for some time now, for a couple years or more, have been really cracking down. Anyways, continuing on, Nexus Mods is a website that provides platform for users to create, share, download modifications, mods for various video games such as Minecraft, Fallout, Grand Theft Auto 5, and hundreds more. It hosts a wide range of mods from simple tweaks to complete overhauls, allowing players to customize and enhance their gaming experience by creating custom skins of their player character for specific video games. In recent years, Nexus Mods has faced increasing criticism for its moderation policies, particularly regarding content deemed offensive or politically incorrect. The latest controversy erupted when the platform removed a mod that depicted Donald Trump as Captain America in the game Marvel Rivals, which is a surprisingly fun game. I've been enjoying the shit out of it. It's really easy to. You just pop in. You can do some matches here and there. And like it is, if you've played Overwatch, you know the formula. It's like it is. Like I said, I've been actually having a blast with it. I've been surprisingly playing tank characters, which is kind of outside the norm. I hate tanking. Tanking is ass, but that's usually in MMOs. Anyways, continuing on. The decision has sparked outrage among gamers and modders alike, who argue that such censorship undermines the very essence of modding. Reporter John Trent took a deep dive on the controversy here, and I don't think we need to go into any videos, but the mod in question, which replaced Captain America's head with that of Donald Trump, was shared by a user named Pirate Nation. Again, like him or hate him, he does share some good content every now and again. Nerdy Neo, filter liking a modern game? I know, shocking, isn't it? The mod was intended as a humorous take on the political climate following the elections. However, within an hour of gaining traction on social media, Nexus Mods removed it, displaying a message stating that the mod could not be found. Interestingly, a similar mod that replaced Captain America's head with Joe Biden was also taken down, suggesting a broader effort to eliminate political content from the platform, not strictly an anti-Trump policy. However, it raises questions about why the Trump mod was removed in the first place. And you know what? Yeah, I don't like Biden either, but you know what? If people want to do that sort of goofy shit, by all fucking means, that's on the player to do so. The mod in question replaced Captain All right, can you hear me, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What happened?
I don't know. We just suddenly lost internet connection. I don't know what the heck happened, but it just went down. And I'm hoping.
Did we lose everything?
I'm checking. I mean, in OBS, it kept saying trying to reconnect. Or it was
Well, that's
trying.
what Discord was saying. That's what my Discord was saying, but I didn't know if it was my
Yeah.
connection or because if I'm up.
And I'm waiting to see if anybody is still, if there's a chat going on still. Sheepster, can you check it for me? See if the stream's still going. I'm checking Rumble right now.
Can we just go back into Discord, or do you have to restart everything?
That's what I'm trying to find out at the moment. Okay, so Rumble's still active. Twitch is active. I just don't know about YouTube. Still says it's trying to load. Okay, so we're apparently back live on. Let me just kind of refresh some of these chats. Chat, I hope you're still there. Dang it, we were doing so well too. We are having. Okay. Okay, there's a new link or a new stream up.
Is that bad or good?
All right, now I'm getting the chat for the new. Hello, chat. Hello. Sorry for that. I don't know what happened. It was something. My internet just suddenly crashed on me.
He did not boomer it.
I didn't know. This was not a boomer moment. This was.
He was awake. He was breathing. He did not fall asleep. I thought it was my computer though.
No,
you just went away, and I was like, "Hello."
Thank you, Captain Keeley. He's saying, checking out Rivals because if Filter likes it, then it's probably worth checking out. I mean, I've been enjoying the shit out of it.
Captain Keeley just, I think, posted Boogie, and I will not be looking at Boogie.
Don't. And Brandon Trent, we got more back. All right, let's go. Sorry for that, guys. Static was. Thank you, Static. I appreciate it, man. You were letting everybody know that the new stream was up. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. You're awesome, dude. Thank you. Sorry, I just gotta get these. Hi. Try to get these chats popped back out so my stream ninja thing can work and capture chat from all the platforms. Although now I'm sad because I think Odyssey might be a little borked. Okay, I'll just have to sadly probably download both parts and combine them together. It'll have to be as a separate video, sadly. Oh well. These things happen. Like my brother said, this is the risk of doing it live. We're doing it live, damn it. Okay. Move things back over here. Okay, I'm trying to remember where the heck I was now, too. Brendan Trez says, no worries, man. Stream lag happens. Yeah. And Captain Keeley, LOL Hitman. Do you remember where I was?
Talking about Boogie, him playing with himself.
No, with the mods, the Nexus mod stuff.
No, I got kicked while you were getting into it. Or you stopped talking or whatnot. Lost connection.
Hang on, I'm just trying to. I'm that one. All right, that one's ended, so we should be good over here. Okay. All right. Where was I? Again, thank you so much, everyone. We had almost 10 concurrent viewers again. Much appreciated. Thank you so much, guys. Nerdy Neo, thank you, saying you were talking about Biden as a mod. FYI, both streams are so love. I just ended the second stream, so hopefully, or the original stream, so hopefully now this one will be the carryover. But thank you for letting. Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah, I just killed it before you brought it up. But thank you, Nerdy. I mean, Neo, I appreciate it, man. Both you and Static are freaking awesome for keeping everybody in touch and stuff like that. Thank you. Okay, so we were talking about the Biden mod. Dang, that was Joe Biden.
It's like a Biden skin.
Yeah, Joe. So, interestingly, a similar mod that replaced Captain America's head with Joe Biden was also taken down, suggesting a broader effort to eliminate political content from the platform, not strictly an anti-Trump policy. However, it raises questions about why the Trump mod was removed in the first place. The mod in question replaced Captain America's head with that of Donald Trump, allowing players to experience gameplay with humorous twists. Players could play Trump as Captain America, throwing his shield and engaging in battles against other characters like Thor and Venom. Here's how it worked in the video. Let's see if I can get the video this time, because I think that should have been my signal of when everything died on me. But we'll see if it'll load it now. But continuing on, the removal of the Trump mod led to significant backlash from the gaming community. Many users have expressed their discontent, questioning when Nexus Mods decided that free speech no longer applies to modders. Comments from the community highlight the absurdity of banning a harmless and creative mod that poses no harm to anyone. Gamers pointed out that the essence of modding lies in freedom and creativity, allowing players to alter their gaming experience. The removal of such content is seen as a step backwards, especially considering the role of modders in enhanced known for their buggy releases. And I want to wholeheartedly agree with that again. And I mean, a lot of modders have gone on to create their own standalone games within those systems and stuff like that. I mean, Jesus Christ. From like the days of Quake and stuff, people created Team Fortress, the Team Fortress game, which then went on to being part of a Half-Life mod, and then became its own game. And we eventually got Team Fortress 2, which is then very much became its own thing. Counter-Strike started out as a Half-Life mod, became its own thing. Valve in those days was like, hey, you guys got some spunk there or whatever, creative knack, we'll hire you. And they did. And now we, like, love it or hate it, yeah, then you have Counter-Strike. And then there's other Half-Life mods, Day of Defeat, one of my favorites. And then it eventually became Day of Defeat Source when the Source engine came out along with Half-Life 2. So a lot of great things have come from modding and kept old games alive. It kept a lot of old games alive. I mean, the Jurassic Park Operation Genesis has a thriving modding community that's still putting out content to this day. People still doing mods for Jedi Academy, for new skins and stuff like that. You know, all of these great things that the ongoing trends of microtransactions, forced agendas, and now censorship at Nexus Mods raises critical questions about the future of modding and creative expression in gaming. Are users just children who cannot make their own decisions about the content they consume? The sentiment is clear. Gamers want the freedom to enjoy and create content without the fear of censorship. The situation at Nexus Mods is emblematic of a larger issue, within the gaming industry, where censorship and political correctness are increasingly influencing content availability. As gamers express their frustration with these developments, it remains to be seen how Nexus mods will respond to the growing calls for transparency and respect for user creativity. It remains to be seen whether these mods will resurface on the platform or if Nexus mods will reconsider its stance on user-generated content. The community is watching closely, and many are hopeful for a shift back towards a more open and inclusive modding environment. That is not necessarily the case, because I do have a bit of some extra stuff to that, and let me grab that really quick. Hang on. Your thoughts so far, Hitman?
The people have gone to lengths of making skins for ridiculous characters that we've really come to the point of making mods for Trump and Biden. Is that a thing?
I mean, it's partly like it's certainly for the Trump stuff, very trolly, and very much fits with the MAGA mentality. They've often done that with Trump in the memes of that sort of stuff. Like, it's not, I'm pretty sure it's not the first time they've portrayed Trump in such a way. I'm just trying to find, because I was basically kind of in and I agreed with Snapple Rai here over on X. If anybody, let me zoom in a bit more, because Melee K had, and I'll get to the Nexus mods part, saying they're welcome to host what they want, and we're welcome to laugh and go where we can find mods without censorship. For the platform to pick and choose breaks in the essence of modding, which is innovating in creativity. We don't need shielding. We're adults. Let us choose what we want. Snapple Rai here said, I think it also lies with the users as well. There are many tools and filters on the site that remove seeing any mods you disagree with. Absolutely. If only people would practice self-responsibility. I believe I've talked about some self-responsibility or responsibility in general for people to kind of try and take a hold of, haven't I? They wouldn't be feeling the need to ban others' content. And so, yes, Nexus Mods did put out a little thing, and they're basically digging their heels in with this, saying, we wanted to address the recent discourse over the last couple of days, including the weekend, regarding the political mods released and subsequently removed from our site for Marvel Rivals. There has been a lot of misinformation circulating on this topic, which we'd like to quickly clarify and put to rest. Nexus Mods has always been about building a positive modding community. Unfortunately, some of the content uploaded to the site becomes a magnet for conflict, division, and mob harassment. In 2020, we updated our terms of service to state that we would remove any American political mods from our site. By removing the Trump mod, we are simply executing our existing file submission policies. What has been overlooked in much of the conversation is that we also removed other mods featuring US presidents uploaded to the site for Marvel rivals such as Biden and Obama. We remain a small independent UK-based company, and there's your problem right there. And as such, we have no stake in US politics and do not wish for our platform to be used as a base for US political discussion. The Trump mod was reported to us, and in line with our terms of service, we've been actively ensuring that any other American political mods are also removed from our site. While we have the right to choose what we host on our platform, which they admittedly do, we are not the authority on what you do or do not decide to mod into your games, and these mods can be found elsewhere on other sites. The problem, too, is that they have become known as the go-to place for the assortment of mods that are available. And, you know, all things considered, they probably aren't I mean, the other places, ModDB is another place that I love going to that generally has a lot of great mods as well, but they probably aren't too far behind with this sort of stuff. And I know the here, let me switch really quick to get, because that account, the pirate account, did find some other things. I would show this, but because it's on X and it is displaying nudity, Kaida here beneath Nexus said, but you can have an entire page of nude mods and ones where you can kill kids, and that didn't cause controversy or division. Right. Because yeah, for Marvel Rivals in particular, yes, there has been nude mods. I mean, that's like with every freaking game out there, there's nude mods. But yeah, like especially it first happened with like Squirrel Girl, and now they've got Magic, Scarlet Witch, and they even gave Venom a giant penis. But let me get the pirate page. Pirate Nation page, because I know they were posting some other mods that were still available, part of Nexus. Let's see if I can find some really quick. Come on. I knew
I had my went too far when they made the Nicki Minaj skin for Fortnite, but I was wrong. Hey, they went to a level I didn't think they were going to go to, but sure enough, here they did.
There they did. What's up, Paul Hodokin? How you doing, sir? Doing that the power
is going to be Warhammer.
Oh god. So yeah, I'm trying. I know, dude, and there's so, unless I knew too, there was so many mods on Nexus involving like Leon from Resident Evil 4 being shirtless and practically nude as well, or if not nude as well. Like they're just such a bunch of hypocrites too. That's just the pisser of it. Dang it, where? All right, I'm just not gonna be able to find these. But here is the big thing to all of this, despite the fact that Nexus is being a bunch of see you next Tuesdays, as it were. There are more competition on the way, if not really being worked on now. Because yes, there is based mods, but now there is also this company or place, whatever. So here is DEG mods. You can find DEG, capital DEG M for, and then mods on X that you can find. No. But they do have their own site that they are working on and are slowly but surely building a platform, if not quickly building a platform that is bringing the mods that aren't quote unquote aren't allowed on Nexus over to here. Hopefully they are doing better to filter some mods, unlike based mods, which last I had heard kind of had some problems here and there, in particular with people putting up fake mods with potential malware and stuff like that. But for now, this is another alternative that you can. There's certainly already there's already the Donald Trump Captain America. Oh, let me share this for you. Sorry. Okay, there you go. But yes, you can certainly still get Trump in Marvel Rivals if you want to fight as our next standing president. And yeah, they're building resources, and you get the titty mods, the romanceable Jeudy for male V in Cyberpunk, the censored mod Serona Ryan voice for Hogwarts Legacy. sex replaces body type in Elden Ring. The uncensored Nibelheim flashback video for Final Fantasy remake. So you got that as well. So yeah, there's an alternative to it all. If you want to, absolutely go for it. If I'm clipping this out and everything or whatever, I will be providing links to this site so you can check it out. And Nerdy Neo had said Counter-Strike started as a Half-Life mod. Yep, you're absolutely correct. And Forgotten City was originally a Skyrim mod. Really? Huh, cool. See, that's just it. People have taken people have done some crazy stuff with modding, man. We'll ask that in just a moment. But yeah, so that is kind of the controversy right now with Nexus mods. Hopefully, like I say, I know DEG mods, they are doing what they can to get off the ground and running, to be an alternative platform for anybody that wants to still mod their games with the mods that are just too naughty for other people. Or just, they're just basic stuff like it is. Yes, even in Elden Ring, putting in, instead of having body types A and B, having it actually be sex, male or female, simple stuff like that. Theo gave Ryzen and Gosling as Black Panther. I saw that floating around. Do they have, I think he's asking if they have the Ryan Gosling. Let's see. Let's go to hopefully Marvel Rivals. No, they just have the Trump one so far. The other one is a Luna Snow Ultimate, replaces Luna's ultimate music with the Devil's Determination. I don't know what that's about. But so far, like it is, so far they're growing. Hopefully they get more over there. And they get more off the ground because they're great. Like I said before, they've kept been gone and forgotten about. So, and if you can, show your support wherever, or if you want to, up to you, especially if you like modding and stuff like that. So that is that bit of news I wanted to touch on. Brandon Tran has a question for Hitman. Also, I hope he has a great day. What is your favorite Superman movie, animated or live action?
Oh man. I really liked the what was it? It wasn't Doom. Was it Doom? It was the animated one with, it was basically a take on Tower of Babel. I think it was Doom, but Vandal Savage was the one who stole the plans to take out the Justice League. It wasn't exclusively a Superman movie, but it was with the Justice League. I would love to tell you Red Sun, but Red Sun actually was not very good because they got the comic wrong. And then probably the Christopher Reeves movies. Henry Cavill is good, but that's a really good question. I'm not a huge action comic guy. That's the thing. Like, I follow Superman, but Apocalyptic War was really good. That was really good. Did you ever watch Apocalyptic War?
No, I haven't. I haven't watched much of the animated movies, so maybe that'll be kind of part of our project, just checking out some of those animated movies.
That was really good because that was with it was basically with what was it? It was Constantine, but not the Constantine we got in the CW, but it was the drunkard magic spell casting guy in the but that was a really good one. I don't know if I'm trying to think if there was. I know that there are Superman exclusive animated shows, but I typically watch the ones with like Justice League based ones because I find those are, because I like the dichotomy between Bruce Wayne and Superman. Good question. We need to watch Apocalypse War. Apocalypse War. That's a really, really good one.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, very good.
So, would you like to? So, we'll start wrapping things up. But did you want to see the
Let's do it
the
because
Superman
I want to
trailer?
because I want to get your thoughts on it because apparently this is supposed to people are talking this up as it's supposed to be a really good movie, and I haven't watched it yet, so we should definitely do it.
Okay, so let me make sure I've got all this set properly. You should be able to watch it in Discord again, much like.
Okay,
All right,
just hit watch
so
stream.
yeah,
Okay, hold on, let me hit.
I'll hit play in just a moment. I'm just making sure I've got everything set. Okay, all right, I'll start switching over here. I'll make sure I've got the audio set to. There we go. All right, so hopefully everybody else will start hearing this too. Here we go.
A few moments later.
So your thoughts, sir?
Well, did you catch that Brainiac possibly is going to be in this movie?
Where was that?
The head. It was earlier.
Let's see. We got Luthor there.
Yeah, Luthor. It may. I think when he was on the ground, I think it could be. I could be wrong. I think it could be Brainiac. There's a head.
Yeah, the robot on the ground. Yeah. Where was that?
I don't know if they're going to bring Brainiac in. I find it very interesting that they bring Beast from Marvel to play Luthor.
Yeah, here we go. Was this it? Was this what you were talking about?
Some people have speculated whether Brainiac's going to be in this. I don't know if it's that part. It was the. It might be. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people speculate whether Brainiac's going to be in this movie. But what is interesting is Crypto. They brought Crypto, which I think is a nice touch. Because Crypto was from the early comics.
Right. Call me again a cynic, but I don't know. To me, like the idea of opening the trailer with this is not a strong showing.
No, it almost looks more Russia than it does the Midwest.
And what's funny, like to me, like my brain and a lot of people on the internet started doing the same thing. We all started seeing this. The Yamcha death pose.
Yeah.
I made fun of it. A lot of people have, but like to me, this doesn't show your Superman as being very super.
No.
That could be just me.
Well, and you have to understand what we got from, and I forget the director of Man of Steel, but we went from, baby Superman coming, baby Kal-El coming from Krypton to Earth in a spaceship. I don't know when this takes place. And that's it. I don't know what timeline this is.
Well, that's the thing. Like he's already like he's doing Superman.
He's in the classic
stuff.
Christopher Reeve style Superman suit, though.
Which I'll give I guess credit where credit's due on that. They gave him the trunks and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like some of it is still
they bring Doomsday in, which is interesting.
Some of it still is feeling like remnants of Snyder's Superman stuff. Like this is still like feeling like we're still getting that dreary Superman stuff.
I don't know if that's the case. They should have just had Henry Cavill play it because I don't know who the actor is, but like they could have chosen a better Lex Luthor than the guy who played Beast.
I have no opinion on that at the moment. Like it is. Sometimes castings can be very different.
Well, here's the thing, man. You've got to have a very like when you do this kind of stuff. When you can't, you've got to have people that can live up to the how they were in the comics, right?
Right.
Because
No,
Lex
you're
Luthor
not wrong. You're not wrong. You're
essentially
absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Lex Luthor was essentially kind of like, I mean, as as brilliant and narcissistic as Tony Stark was in the comics. I mean, Lex Luthor and this is why I love Red Sun, Superman Red Sun. Lex Luthor is literally playing chess with himself because he is the only person that could beat himself. This is this type of narcissistic attitude he had. So, and he was kind of like the rival to Superman, no different than Raish was one that equaled Bruce's intelligence. So I don't know. I haven't like it's a preview. The actor
Yeah.
that maybe this actor who played Beast, I don't know his name. Maybe he can live up to it, but you've got to have a very special person to play that role for it to be good. And they've got to be able to feed off each other. We talked about how Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill all organically like look at this. Is this Hitman or is this Lex Luthor? Like, yes,
Oh
he
my
was
God, he
bald.
should be Agent 47. You're right. He should be.
Literally, like, what is this? You know? And where's Zod? Like, Zod is a quintessential piece of Superman.
Yeah, but
Where's General Zod?
this is a thing. Like they're already
He
getting
died in
into
Infinity.
an established era Superman, which I think is is all the wrong ways to go about this. They need to
Well,
start
hold
from
on.
the.
Gunn is involved in this.
I know, doesn't mean I like the guy though, and I don't think
Well,
his decisions are correct. The whole thing is already very
well,
haphazard with
here's
how
the
they're
reason.
going about this.
Well, and here's the thing. Now that Snyderverse is done, we've only had Henry Cavill as Superman outside Christopher Reeves.
Right.
Well, outside the TV shows, we're not counting TV shows, but like
No,
outside
we're
in the
going off
movies,
of theatrical and stuff like that.
right?
Yeah.
It was him and Henry Cavill. So it's like, and Henry Cavill set the bar. I think Henry Cavill did a pretty decent job as Superman, all things considered. I think he did a pretty good role,
I
right?
think he did well with what he was given. Yes.
And that's all you can. That's all you can do. You can only do as well
Yes.
as you can with what's given, right? And so, which it may not be a high bar with what he was given, but are we going for origins? If that universe is gone, no longer, it's not even a universe, but if that timeline is no longer a thing, and we're going to establish a new Superman, are you giving us an origin story? Is it late? I mean, where does this fall in the timeline of Action Comics?
I mean, they're adapting it, so they're not following an
But
established
this is the
timeline
thing,
necessarily.
this is
That's
very,
the problem
this
with some of
is
this too.
right. But you make a very interesting point. This is very Snyderverse-esque because what was in Snyderverse what was in Justice League, it was Doomsday. I mean, anybody knows, if anybody knows anything about DC, they can tell that that's Doomsday. I can't think of any other creature that is in this
The
trailer
big
that
kaiju here?
yeah, is that not Doomsday? I think it's Doomsday.
I don't think so. I mean, I just think it's a
You don't think
giant.
it's Doomsday?
I just think it's a giant kaiju, a giant monster. That's all I think it is. This looks like a giant monster he happens to be fighting.
It has to be Doomsday. That can't just be a monster.
Was Doomsday ever that gigantic?
Doomsday was.
I know he is a big hulking brute, but like,
I don't know. He was pretty
towering,
big in Justice League.
towering over cityscapes like this.
Let's look up Doomsday Snyderverse and see how big he was.
Oh well, that's Snyderverse. I'm not going off of. I'm talking about like comic wise.
Oh well, hold on. Let's see if he looks like a kaiju.
I mean, he looks like a monster. Yes, absolutely. But is he like so big that he's towering over buildings like this?
I don't know. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not Doomsday.
Yeah, like I mean, just doing a quick search, and then yes, I'm using like a wiki DC fandom. Like they show his characteristics: height 7 feet.
Well, then who is this Godzilla-looking thing then?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Monsters just don't roam New York City.
All right, so even the current Doomsday from 2011 to present in mainstream DC Comics is 7 foot 6 inches. So yes, he's still not a giant kaiju. And then there's whatever the hell that thing is in the background there.
Well, what is it then?
I don't know. Yeah, that's why I'm bringing this to you. You are more the DC guy.
I am, but I don't know. DC never had Godzilla.
Actually, they do currently. They have Godzilla versus the Justice League right now.
I knew you were going to say that. That's It was Kong and Godzilla versus the Justice League. Thank you very much.
Oh, whatever.
And I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that could be. I'd have to get out my DC encyclopedia. Off the top of my head, I don't know who that would be. But I also don't know I'm not, like I said before, I'm not an action comics guy. I'm obviously detective comics. I don't know. I don't know the villains. I mean,
fair enough. You did make that clear, yes.
Let's try to look up Superman villains because I don't remember him fighting some kaiju.
That could just be made for the movie, They do that sort of shit all the time. That's why I say adaptation. It's an adaptation.
I mean, most of these are all these guys are literally within the comics. There's nothing that resembles a freaking Godzilla. The biggest one.
I don't know who is this. Like, I don't know who this character is.
That's Mr. T. What is his name? He was in. Who is it? It's Black, not Black. Stand by. I know. Give me a minute. It's gonna bother me. I know off the tip of my tongue. Mr. Something.
Oh, hang on.
Philip why I figured out. Philip why I figured out. He was in the CW. He was in Arrow.
Okay. Was he created specifically for that show?
No, he was in the comics, I believe.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right. Well, just to the point of like Superman and stuff like that for animated movies and stuff. Dan Blackroyd pointed out Justice League Doom, Superman, Batman, Public Enemies was good, and the Shazam movie where him and Superman fight Black Adam.
Mr. Terrific. He's Mr. Terrific.
Okay. And Dan Blackroyd said 2 underrated ones for the others.
But that's very reminiscent of freaking CW, Mr. Terrific, and the actor who I forget who played him.
And what do you think? So people have been speculating that this is Pa Kent, and people are assuming Ma Kent is dead. What do you think of that? If that's true?
I don't know. Again, I'd have to reference action. I don't know if she died in the comics, or if this.
I don't know. I believe weren't they alive generally.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Snyder thing that had Pa Kent die, and also the first Superman movie he died.
Yeah. Which I thought was pretty bold to kill off Pa Kent, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, I mean, you can tell. I mean, you would assume it's an old Kansas house with the trees on a farm. I really want to know if Brainiac is in this movie because that's going to make the movie and how they do him.
Maybe he'll be the tease for the end.
Well, that's why I referenced the droid, but Brainiac didn't look like it. He was more of a, within the comics, he was more of a, more green than anything, but that guy was just a great droid.
And what about your thoughts on Nathan Fillion? Who Guy Gardner, I think it is, for the Lantern here? I think that's the name I've been seeing.
he may, as long as he's better than
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds.
yeah. Guy Gardner, Green Lantern here. Your
I don't know
thoughts,
why
look and stuff like that?
Uh,
Because people have been
I
very
mean,
mixed on it.
no, he doesn't, because freaking Guy Gardner in the comics had more of a GI Joe haircut. Well,
He did
some have a
eventually,
bowl
yes,
cut.
but he started out with a bowl cut, I believe. Some people are saying they are going with this look to not have
He
to
looks more of
pay
a monk.
not have to pay royalty.
Shicer. He looks more of a monk in this show versus movie versus the comics. I don't know. I'm also not a huge. I
Not
would
a
have liked
big Green
to see this.
Lantern person. Okay.
Well, no, I'm more of a I'm more of a John
Oh, okay,
Stewart
okay.
fan, or
Gotcha.
Hal Jordan. Like Hal Jordan's obviously popular, but I'd be more of a I'm more of a John Stewart, or even Kyle. Is it Kyle Rayner?
I
He's
think
the other.
I think.
The other. So I thought that was some dude with a crypto. I thought that was some dude working for Lex Luthor with some kryptonite, like I don't know. And his hair is blonde, but in the comics it was red. It looked more
No,
red.
it's orange here too. Oh, you mean for Kyle Rayner?
He looked,
No, it is. It's just kind of the light with the Green Lantern ring shining and stuff, but it is kind of, like I said, it's just kind of the light and everything. You don't really get to see it. And you got Hawk Girl here. Like you're coming in with a bunch of pre-established. You're coming in with a bunch of pre-established characters, and this is like, you guys, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Come on.
I like I said, I want to like it, but we haven't had a good DC movie since Christopher Nolan's, so it's hard for me to like it. If I watch this, it will solely be because of crypto. I really love that. I really
You want to see the dog in action, all right?
Oh, because that's quintessential, right? So I mean, Superman had crypto, Batman had Bat-Hound. So like, and we've never had a movie where they've brought crypto in. So I think that's a nice change. I'd love to have them do a Batman with Bat-Hound, but I don't know if they'll ever do that. Peter will throw a fit. Kyle Rayner, yes, and Guy Gardner. I don't know a lot about Guy Gardner though. I'll see if he's in the encyclopedia. But the ones that I'm pretty familiar with are Kyle Rayner, Hal Jordan, and John Stewart.
Okay. Brandon Trent says Superman versus the Elite is good Superman. And he's pointing out again, the people are excited for Karate Kids Legends with Jackie Chan. I saw that trailer. I don't know. Like, I think
it's gonna be good solely because of Jackie Chan.
Well, it's the funniest part to me about it all, though, is that they've completely abandoned whatever Will Smith's kid name is. They've completely Jaden Smith. They've completely shut him out, and like Jackie Chan has found this completely new pupil because it's supposed to be the same guy from that movie. Yeah. And it's just funny as hell to me because they just completely blocked him out. I don't know. I have too many mixed feelings about Cobra Kai. I still need like
Cobra Kai.
I have too many problems with it. I need to watch the most recent season or whatever, but I heard they're like splitting it up to like 2 to 3 parts, so I'm kind of annoyed. But yeah, I they need to put it to rest. They need to end it. Just stop. Captain Keeley says, just won my first game of Marvel Rivals. Let's go. So pumped. And says, yeah, you're right. It is fun. What can I say? I have my moments of occasionally picking fun games. So in Marvel Rivals so far, I've made Captain America is one. I like Venom. Venom can be very fun. And Banner was a lot of fun as the Hulk, but I feel like they've nerfed him a bit with the most recent season update. And then otherwise Wolverine is my other main. Dude, he is so much fun. Like I've gotten to know some of the way to combine his moves and stuff. So much fun. and I'll either use Mantis or Rocket Raccoon for healing when I'm doing that. Rocket's fun, just because he's not bad at blasting, and then you pair him up with the Punisher, and he can just drop an ammo box and go full 9. It's great. Mantis is good for healing, but the great thing is that the healers aren't completely like vulnerable. They have good defense and offense too. Reed Richards is an interesting one to play. I'm kind of getting the hang of him now, but he's an interesting type for sure.
I don't know who that creature is, man. He's not popping up on any villains.
Welcome back, Melissa Lord. Thanks for coming back.
Bizarro, General Zod, Brainiac, Darkseid, Doomsday, Lex Luthor, Mr. Mixpixel, Metallo, Mongol, Parasite. All these guys don't look. I don't know who it is. The only one I'd say is Doomsday, but again, Doomsday, I guess.
Brandon Trent said new Superman David Cornswet looks a lot like Tom Welling, Smallville Superman actor. Nick Holt might surprise people since he's been in Nosferatu, Mad Max, Renfield, and The Menu. Oh, he's the not Bloodbag. Nux in Mad Max. That's right. He wasn't bad in that, but I don't really like that Mad Max movie. To me, there's only 3 Mad Max movies. There's only 3. I'd watch Beyond Thunderdome much quicker than that. Dan Blackbright said no. Brandon Trent said Alex. Also, Holt talked and inspired for Lex Luthor by Michael Rosenberg, who was best Lex in Smallville. I haven't watched Smallville, so I can't speak to that. Dan Blackbird, pity the fool. He's a terrific fool. Her name is Martha. Why is her name Martha? Jordan Star Wars, hello. How are you doing? Saying, I'd rather have the original DC Comics. Guns, Superman will be atrocious. Dude, just respect. Jock Nerdy, I loved his respect the retro. Respect. Tough for you guys to do this. Dan Blackbird says, rumor is it's Ultraman, not Brainiac. What do you say to that?
Oh, because Ultraman was just his. Ultraman was his. Was it Earth? I don't know. Did you look?
It. Told him Soup saves a lot of people. Meteor shower. Soup saves people from meteors. One rock had an alien. That's 1. 2. Inside gets big and had offspring. Soups defeats the monster while learning how to properly fight and protect people. Timon is against you on this. He's saying crypto is stupid. Everybody's got their flavor.
Oh, for sure. I don't think it's Ultraman because Ultraman's from Earth 3 and they would have to somehow.
They aren't gonna. Come on, dude. Since when have they ever cared about different universes and stuff like that? They're much like Star Wars. They're gonna pick and choose characters they want to insert into this and do just that. I hate to be the wet blanket on the situation, but you know it to be true. And I love it that you're curious about what they're trying to follow in terms of where it is in the DC timeline and stuff like that. But dude, they're not following or adhering to any timelines and stuff. I agree with you. They should, absolutely, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. Because then that would actually mean they were going to do something right and properly take their time to build something, but they just aren't doing that. And honestly, I think, like you said, it should be animated.
Yeah,
I think they shine off too much on what is possible with animation. I think people in general also get too hung up on needing a live action adaptation. Dude, you don't need that. animation can do just as much, if not more, and in a much more spectacular way. You don't need a live action anything. And that's what I don't get also, why people want movie adaptations of video games. It's not necessary. Yes, there are some gems out there. Mortal Kombat 95 being the top tier video game movie. You cannot surpass that. That is the best one out there. But you don't need it. We had the video games. The video games were a blast. There you go. So the sooner we get off of that kick, the better. Brandon Tran said Anthony Kerrigan, who was Victor Zsasz in Gotham, plays the metahuman who looks like Brainiac. Okay. Gotham was a weird show. Like, Gotham, I thought started out good, but went downhill so goddamn fast. And I could not stand, what's her face? Jada Pinkett Smith's character. Like, she just needed, she never went away as far as I knew. She just kept going and going and going. I'm like, piss off. Did I lose some chat? I feel like I did. Okay, never mind. But yeah.
I'm not gonna be able. We'll have to figure out next show who, I don't know. It bothers me because I don't know what they're doing, and I guess you'll have to watch the movie. But it's like, again, do I justify spending $15 on a ticket to watch something that
right?
could potentially be trash?
I agree.
And the thought of some kaiju Godzilla looking beast coming in, like where? And that's what bothers me, like making new creatures that nobody knows about. It's like, okay, like, again, you have the freedom to do that, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Godzilla never came to New York. To my knowledge. And I don't think he had any cousins.
He did have a son. Or a son of Godzilla.
But
that was it. That was kind of it. We wrap it up here, sir.
I think so. And you're not watching Skeleton Crew next week?
Okay, cool. I'm not. Sweet.
No. I'm saving you from it.
Okay, so Captain Keely's loving Hawkeye. All right.
I took the hit for the team.
All right, so here we go. We'll be moving over to ending. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I hope you liked our little experiment here. Love to get some feedback, especially if you're watching on the replay. Once I combine everything together, please drop a comment or just let me know on X, social media, and stuff like that. I'll be dropping a post wherever, because I'd love to find out if you guys thought this worked out, if you thought it was a pretty cool new little setup. I just wanted to try something new with this, and give us kind of a bit of a fresh look, fresh look, our own look. Not always having like everybody else, the boxes of talking heads. So yeah, I'd love to hear what y'all think. Please do get back. And all right. Oh, god dang it. I gotta hang on. Let me browser source, add existing, feature chat. Boom. Captain Keely just got MVP. Fuck yeah. Nice, brother. Nice. Those are always great. Dan Blackbird said the character in the all black suit is the rumored Ultraman. Okay.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring, the one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, that put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter rage!